Thanks so much, Sierra and everybody. This is a fight, guys, for a spot in the Big Four. Both teams brought on new firepower for the stage to get further than they ever did in Stage 2. And Shayo, it's really impressed us how both teams incorporated and flexed around these new additions.
No, absolutely. Hayoday's been like taking over storms in terms of the stat page overall. On NRGA Academy, you got 2Z as well, has been such a good addition, and making sure everybody's flexing up together and having the best options player to player, whether you're supporting a duelist or holding things down, anchoring a site. That being said, we kind of have the consistency of NRGA Academy being a bit of more of a mid to upper echelon tier team inside the tier 2 system against NBG, who's more about is Son of Car shooting on the day, how talented are the players looking on the server when they're actually playing. They have like higher peaks, I would say, but a lot of the time, sometimes if the games against them end up falling down. So NRG looking to stay consistent, NBG looking to hit those high peaks on split here in map 1.
And you have someone like Renz, who was known as that star duelist from Maryville, not only now flexing away from that role, but becoming that IGL. It's so impressive to see how NRG have gone through an evolution as now we get to go and check out what first blood is happening. Sean Dex now with lurks going and activating over at A. Makes a lot of room here at B, as that lack of noise did give a sense of NBG that there's something around this corner.
Now, lots of proactivity here from NRGA Academy. Really pushing in fast, setting the pace. He's found a little bit of a space here all the way up in the flank. That's checked by Ange as well. So looks like every single light in NRGA Academy's camp is online right now, seeing everything work in motion, in tandem, with perfection almost. 2Z, bit of a scratch on the play. Past that, I feel like the situation is so good for NRGA Academy. Hold up. 2's opening it up, and there's a nade towards backside. Suddenly a 2v2, and the retake might just be possible. A smoke is up in the play. Ange used to get in, blocked by Son of Car, and that's the defuse.
Shadex is like still making his way from across the world, and you had that nice first blood from NRG Academy, but it did not matter. I mean, NRG Academy had B set up, but the retake had so much patience, and we were wondering what version of Son of Car we were going to get today. And last time I casted him, this guy became server admin. He can take over a game so easily. He got 2 picks in this one, and even just taking control of Garage, NRG Academy seemed like they had their bases covered, but this 2 from 2Z open things up. We talked about Hayode versus 2Z, and 2Z's making his mark as well.
Yeah, that was huge from him. That kill on Pillar was doing the most. Bit of information gained over at B. Again, the pace is fast here from NRG Academy.
Now making sure they grab the orb in Garage and immediate spam from 2Z. But you just really don't know the numbers that are around the other side of that smoke. So our NRG Academy giving a lot of respect to that. Now that there's an outlaw in the picture, I think NBG want to reinforce that A main after Shondex maybe got away with too much. You don't want to give that comfortability to NRG Academy, but having pistols on the attack is not going to bode well for their chances in this round either.
I was about to call the Leviathan special on attack right there, but not going for mid. All the way back to A, where, yeah, Shondex did have that bit of space, but as Lemon just said, this team on NBG does not want to let NRG get away with anything scot-free. Stellar close by as well. This trap play could be amazing for NBG. The first 2 shots of the Outlaw miss, and now things are getting disastrous. Close range from Stellar. Can only eat about 2 players. The rest are free to run on site.
Still think that's fantastic damage for NBG. Got 2 down. Giza on his last life, and NRG, I should say, are going to get a plant going. There is a crunch coming through screens, and Zeke shows up, and now NBG, they put on the pressure. Their retake is the whole reason why Pistol went their way. As NRG Academy did manage to get an upgrade, but it may not matter. Hayode, your ace up your sleeve is down, and really stuns as NBG are on the board again.
Looking to wrap it up, not too much in terms of economy lost on that moment as well. Big thing for Split again is momentum in this map. I feel like winning pistol is so important, especially in a league like Challengers, where like you can have the most polarizing days, sometimes things going all the way pushing towards OT, and then other maps where you can really shove someone down. Win 13-4 on Split, especially on defense. Want to get these rounds up as much as possible, bolster what would be the strong side of the map. And at the same time, I feel like it's a bit more likely you get more success double dueling on the other side of things. No Sentinel for the side of NBG, so they really have to get active on all sides of the map. Again, the B space held down by 2Z, taking the pressure of what? 3 players for the moment. Paranoia traded out. for that double dash, and he'll get right back.
Yeah, good exchange of util. You get the dashes, you get the C's, the teleport out, everything. A-OK. NRG Academy taking these early rounds to gather as many orbs as possible, trying to get that first ult cycle online. Now, the first exploration in mid, there's a stack of smokes, and there's a stack of NBG there. It seems that this defense always has a buddy system, some kind of crossfire, and this has done significant damage to NRG, giving them a chance for retakes. The Shondex lurk does get exchange, creates a bit of pressure on the perimeter. It's NRG Academy that doesn't inspire them to think that that's going to be the weaker side to hit.
I'll play patient for now. This run up though might be a little bit too much to ask for from the side of NBG. NRG Academy, that patience paying off for the moment. Some trap plays activating all the way across the map. Delivery in mail. Gonna be stamped and scot free for Hayode. And that slow pace now, the switch of a bit from NRG Academy keeps this round almost flawless. They've just lost Shondex in the business, but past that, haven't given away too much of how they want to approach the map.
And nothing is standing out to me for NRG Academy's approach besides really the weaponry here. They had this push and pull in garage. They tried mid. They're really working the map, and they're not going into a situation where they don't have the advantage, whether it's crossing through smokes or anything like that. They kind of get as much util out of NBG as possible and really just rely on teamwork, which has been the NRG Academy special. And both these teams perform much better on split when it comes to their defense. I mean, the desk talked about NBG having that 13-11 really close game against M80, and they came back from an 8-4 deficit when they started off on attack. So NBG can really put a significant damper on the score here if they can do more on the defense, which, hey, first rifle round for NRG Academy, we have ourselves a game.
Just want to see how they utilize the waylay on this map. Again, solo waylay on Hayode. There is a lot of pressure, not just to perform in terms of shooting, but also in the movement and making space. Well, they're not the easiest character anymore to really actively fight on all the time. Yes, saturate lets you get back out of dodge, but or refract. Saturate, actually, excuse me, is one of the abilities that's a lot harder to fight with. Now it's more of a setup ability. No other duelist is set up really. I wonder what the situation is going to be. Tuzi getting across, have to dive on the thorns to go for the trap play. Carson's there to land the shots, and lots of players on the side of NRG Academy going to be affected by low HP. Doesn't matter. Tuzi's still by himself. Flash to regain the position again. Everybody, because they're so weak, end up falling for free. You gotta love it. NBG really pushing back the pace.
And the comms around that flash too from Stunna when Tuzi was on the corner insert, like they know when to look away, they know when to engage, and NBG brought more aggression to Garage. That's been the first visit, the first stop on NRG Academy's map exploration. They get those orbs going, and NBG decided, what if we press the issue? What if we commit more members? They're starting to get a sense of what are the numbers from NRG Academy on Garage, and it's been a lot of 4-1. So NBG are reading that well. They got the spike down, and they get to carry all these weapons over with a lot of people still having most of their armor up. So I think this was a fantastic round for NBG to build off of.
Yeah, NRG Academy will be back as well in the next round with rifles to be able to have another chance at attacking the map. B has been locked down by Tuzi and multiple different trap plays from the side of NBG. I love it when the defensive side is so alive like this, Lemon. The biggest thing too is how do you defuse it from the attack side? You need paranoias of your own. You need so much early utility. A lot of the time though, there's a second place that the defenders can play. That's wasted utility for the attackers. So if they're really locking down B right now, I feel like every team in the world is starting B. This would be a big road bump for NRG.
We haven't seen Hayode really have his day in the sun. He's using these dashes to disengage. There were moments where Renz had a seize on an Omen, and yes, you get the teleport out, but NRG Academy, there isn't that antsiness or that eagerness to chase it when you have a Waylay who's gonna be much, I would say, easier to be mobile with, because the double satchels are great, but maybe the Waylay is gonna be easier for Hayode to navigate in those quick pounce situations. So I'm wondering when NRG Academy are gonna up the ante and be the ones that can go after their prey, so to say, because NBG are the ones that are kind of showing us some more aggression out the gates, and that's already given Stunna a run it back. So that could be now NBG wanting to amp up that energy yet again as a Garage encounter may happen again, and NRG Academy are going to be more ready for it this time.
Have less people to deal with this time as well. For us, they seem ready, but it's just NBG giving them this position, because like Lemon just called out, yeah, there is a run it back. There's so many tools on the side of NBG to come back and retake B entirely. NRGA Academy not convinced with just taking that space for free or executing B. They want to move up mid slowly. Lots of pressure then on Zeke to perform.
Here's a 3-stack of NBG moving towards the right side. I didn't mark if Son of Kara already got the orb, because that actually he might be grabbing it now, which gives them the the showstopper. So NBG working around the map, and even if they don't get kills, they get something out of it. NRG Academy, though, they want the B site that has been the site that they've only hit so far to only 1 success.
And this is just going the right way for NBG. No utility on most of the players from NRG Academy right now. Ren's done. Heode gone as well. On flank, there's Stunna. Run it back is active. Doesn't matter. Heode doesn't need that util. He's got the rifle. He's got the plays. Conversion pads also online. This meal bolsteration looking really good for the side of NRG Academy. Stop the ramp up. Heode with a 4K. If you haven't seen him before, this guy just does not miss. He's not going to stop now in the playoffs either. What a round to turn around for Heode, man. That's insane.
He was about to take over. I mean, you had a showstopper investment. NBG have been so good at their retakes. And despite NRG Academy looking like they were making moves towards Garage and they were protecting themselves from any flanks, then you just have Heode go insane on in mail by himself, basically 1v3. And there's a reason why NRG Academy, they swapped all of their roles around to make room for this kid, a rookie in Challengers, absolutely a mechanical beast, in a moment where he had to react quickly to the pressure that he was getting. Stunna on the flank was starting to cause a nuisance, but this power position held by the duelists, and the big show match, I think, between Heode versus Son of Kar of who's going to step up for their team. So Heode is showing us some huge flashes of brilliance.
Yeah, that is a very difficult round to execute for him. We've seen some nice fun stuff from Son of Kar before. Here comes the play again for B main. If it doesn't stop working, never fix it, go for it again. This time though, conversion pads, light speed all the way through, but Tuzi is not seen. On top of the snake bite as well. He pushes into the smoke. What's this?
That is such a lapse. Like, maybe Heode thought that everyone was going to flood in behind him. Maybe didn't notice the snake bite. NRG Academy didn't mark that. And you got the teleport, but NRG Academy still have no safety at the B side. They haven't gone for the plant yet, and Giza's not even, or not Giza, Shondex is not even with them, but hey, he's having an impact on his own towards the middle of the map. NBG are still trying to regroup.
Spike planted.
He's had first and front row tickets to that magic trick that was just played over by Tuzi. Shondex regrouping over at B main. Should be a very hard retake for NBG. I'm not sure if they even want to go for it with the pace I'm looking at right now from both these players.
Even with Tuzi having a paranoia, he was so worried about where Shondex was, and there wasn't a quick enough reaction for NBG to address the elephant in the room, the Viper in the room even, who got a kill in mid. And Stellar and Tuzi were kind of having split approaches. Did we try to get male controlled? Did Shondex go back towards spawn? Is he pushing through vents? Like, you had no idea where Shondex was, and too much on NBG's plate to deal with in that moment. So NRG Academy with back-to-back successes now on B after kind of faltering to a lot of NBG retakes.
You guys a hard time, but you're better off with me.
See the importance of Giza in these retakes as well, and the post plan specifically. Sentinel, not usually the best role to get you onto a site, but once that site is active, it can just end up winning you around or mitigating risk as much as possible. A sheer wall coming up, able to just stop the entire retake, force the save. But again, these moments are nuts. Tuzi being able to just run the shadows out of there as well is crazy. I know, but ultimate's not going to be available for the defense to really move around the map anymore now. 3-3. Econ's still good, I think better on the side of NRG. Gonna move in once more, flooding A so fast.
And such a different tempo push too from NRG Academy. They've realized this garage push is not favoring them a good fight. So now they quickly take advantage of A after really not showing this hand previously. And the Viper's pit feels like it secures everything, as Stellar could be lurking for his moment to try and crunch in. He's going to be lacking health, though, the longer he stays in there, as the Boombot tries to check close there for Stellar. Prowler as well. This gets the attention of Ange, so... but is not going to spam through. Stellar's going to wait for his Hell to come back. Nightfall from the pits is NRG Academy. They secure the outside of the pit as the walls stay up. Zeke is going to touch the spike at 1 HP. Still manages to get a kill. NRG Academy, though, more than secure after the Viper's pit lasted throughout that round.
It's completely fumigate and raise them down. That is nuts from NRG Academy on the hold. And I thought it would be, you know, Giza saving the entire round as well from the position all the way in A main. Seems like he never even went and left his spawn, but even with that insurance, they didn't need it. Fighting on that site, staying behind back map, the different triangles they had active in terms of angles. NRG Academy, really good post by the challenge is just getting onto some of these sites. A seemed very easy in that last round, so NBG might do something to maybe stack A little bit more, change the way it's held, because so far B main conditioned very well defensively. A's been a bit of a gap both in that pistol round and in the one that we just watched. Not going for that B side again, though. They are pushing mid in a 1-3-1, and Zeke does not have the firepower to hold on too long.
But that tempo shift from NRG Academy, they're playing so much faster. They're leveraging their waylay, and this has gotten them a 3-round win streak, and probably this one as well, as there's only one hero rifle, and it's on the opposite side of the map. Could see Zeke, though. He just drops a rifle in front of him. He actually has no support, so I don't see this being a recoverable weapon for Zeke. In worst case, it's a trade, and you got to make this as expensive as you can, because NRG Academy are scaling through this map, and also in the economy department. Is Hayode just going to get above and beyond through the util, get maybe some vision on the B site, but the spike is going towards vents.
Devious from Edge. Patient, able to get it. Ren's also. You mentioned pace change over and over again. I mean, NRG are like a pendulum when it comes to speed and slowness. Over and over, even with the jump peak, things are looking so good with these guys. Knowing when to really push things forward. Hayode playing patient too. It's both sides. It's fast and slow at the same time.
Yeah, and NRG Academy, I mean, still have so much chemistry together besides the Hayode, the new Hayode duelist. So there's a lot of trust in someone like Ange that had to clear through vents for the spike, and any slip up could have costed them the entire round. So NRG Academy, like you said, took it one step at a time, and Tuzi happy to get an upgrade at this moment, but a 1v3 seems so unachievable when you had to get through thorns and whatever post plant was available. But anything you can get on the exit would be nice, but it's NRG Academy now that have had pretty secure and convincing attacking sides, from either using speed directly through main or kind of figuring out in the mid calling what they're doing with that mid control they've had.
Pace has been amazing. Mid-rounding's been really good from NRG Academy as well. And again, some of the shots they've been hitting have stopped the game plans of NBG entirely. Out of the bets today, I feel like are upset preds for the side of NBG versus NRG. You're the only person, Lemon, with her head on right, you know?
Why?
Why do you believe in NRG so much? What's the you never got to state your case.
I know. All right, well, I'm good. Like, thank you for taking the time out, NBG, as I state my case. And I mean, just this core from the Maryville side, I mean, they have had good results for so long. These are players that have been known around the scene for so long, very consistent. They can swap roles. And I think Renz was even incredible during the Neon meta as one of my favorite Neons to watch. And he's able to take a seat and be the caller, be the enabler, because he knows what a duelist wants and what they need in that moment. He's taking a pretty heavy, I would say, IGL tax at the moment, as NRG Academy kind of found their footing, which they certainly have now that they have a 4-round streak. And look how that set up Hayode, which I think also Hayode is setting himself up when he gets 4Ks on his own. So yeah, how fast NRG Academy have incorporated this new player, how they flexed around him. I've just been really impressed by NRG Academy, and that's no shade to NBG. They could win as well.
Literally all those reasons are why I sometimes am wary of predicting NRG Academy, because it seems too good to be true sometimes. I've seen them, like some of the teams I've seen in playoffs, fall asleep and not live up to those expectations, right? So, especially against a team that might just be shooting all the time. There it is from Son of Car, this time finally fishing out Sean Dex. More action on the B side. We'll get over to our reasonings in just a little bit. The round is now speeding up again as NRG Academy at pendulum tick-tocks and swings once more. The speed is fast over towards Pillar as Prowlers try to growl around it. I don't see Tuzi really affected by more bullets. That pressure though has drawn 3 players to the side. Heode still in mid though. He's the form factor here for NRG. Can he find more and still push these guys, open up the map over maybe towards A? It is a 3v4. They're at disadvantage. Somebody on NRG needs to be a hero right now.
I think Heode is really worried about testing the waters when the op was already shown towards the A side of the map. You know they're probably going to be rotating through vents, so you need something to kind of test. Is that op there? Besides using your own body, especially when Heode is the best fragger on this team right now. So still don't know where that op is, and it's already rare to see on a defense on split, as Son of Kara is going to get some vision. He's already spammed through the walls. Good pressure from NRG Academy.
Barrel discovered. Option select. Move all the way in. Pass mill. Light speed. Not taking the second part to get straight to the space-time vent position. They'll just walk in instead. No op here for now. The issue is for the other side, the defenders. Son of Kar has so many different angles to worry about. He is locked in on ramp. They think that there's a lurk coming in. It's on the other side as Giza spreads Tuzi's position. Stellar is not going to be able to get the cross stop down, but Heyo, Raid Boss is gone. Stellar's still alive. 66 HP, drops down the pillar. Still Gordon. There's a timing on this one, and they can slow it all down to wait for the guns to come back.
Yeah, Heode was so busy trying to make sure he could go after the op. I mean, they know that Son of Kara is at very low HP. They don't think he's a threat anymore, and there was a trust in this NRG Academy split. And then Heode drops. So now the Viper's Pit to try and give them some room, maybe even a distraction. This is going to cover the spike. So Giz is going to lose some health being in here. As that dwindles, he hears the drop, knows that Son of Kara is low. Someone's on the spike. That's a spray of all time. But hey, the final bullet rings true, and Zeke ends it all. He was so clutch in this round to not only shut down Heode, but to save this at the last second. 5.46. Oh my God.
Patience pays off there for NBG once again. That being said, ultimates, lucky timings, a 2v1 that might have gone just too close. Taking a 4v3, really just come down to a game of inches towards the end. That is the caliber of team they're facing. That is the NRG Academy effect of still having a voice in the round, even then when there's just 30 seconds left, smoke's in front of them. They'll go for the weird spray. They'll go for Heode, just making a distraction as everyone else moves in.
Sorry, that was Stellar that dealt with Heode, but Zeke still was that first kill on the retake. So like to see someone be able to anchor and get the ball rolling, as the op is still part of this, and NRG Academy, they're worried about it.
Not just worried, they might just run into it. Do they think the op stays towards the same side? Because on split, it does really jump around the whole map.
Just being able to smoke it off, that's how you deal with it. How close can you set up someone like Heode to kind of break that line of sight, break the crosshair of an op, because you need to commit so much pressure before, so you don't drop any bodies, but just swing it like that is not how you do it. Stunna with great support for the op, and it stays in the hands of Son of Kar.
Give him one more second, they might have been ready for it. Giza activation was coming in as well. Everybody was rotating over. I like the proactivity for NBG to get back on this angle. Then they back off again, gift the spike over, leave it under the Christmas tree. It's snowing op shots to the side of Son of Kar right now, over and over again. This guy's just not missing.
There's something about ramps that confuses everybody. I mean, both teams have been able to shoot each other in the back and have these lapses, and NBG, they get back in the picture post timeout. NBG have taken 2 rounds in a row. They clearly have talked about this op where they want to position. NRG Academy are trying an approach of smoking it off, thinking that was going to be enough to have the op maybe go all the way back heaven, like in this position. NRG Academy thought they scared off Son of Kar enough, and they didn't. Not only that, it got Stunna to be rotated in, and that pair of duelists was something NRG Academy could not face.
Yeah, it's not just a pair of duelists. Yes, Son of Kar might have been the spotlight over there, but the entire technology around it and the person that's been affecting these off-spawn fights for the side of NBG going so well, Stellar. He was there in B main, reflashing to get back in. He was there getting the double on the ramp once the op shot went down. He's been so good at linking up with his teammates earlier on. This time, no link for him. This time, NBG really slowed things down, going for a mid pinch instead. Orb falls, and again, the assist to break the haunt, get the op shot down. These guys are all working in such good tandem, protecting the saturated teammate as well. Raid Boss, Son of Kar. Operator might go right back online.
And the immediate recall, as soon as you saw it wasn't just Son of Car, it was Zeke as well. There's always someone protecting that golden goose, and to know the crossfire is there. NRG Academy had to be careful of spacing because of not only the but the showstopper that they know is online.
Side characters are also fighting all the way across the map. Showstopper, yes, it's one of the main tools, but again, the extremities. Shandex has been doing such a good job at absorbing this pressure. He's opened up mid entirely, but they've gambled the right way. Finding the Viper, slithering in her den. Ooh, gonna be able to get a bite before going down. Zeke though, implanted, spraying, praying, and a miracle comes through for Nightblood Gaming.
3 bullets, 3 kills. Zeke is just a laser with back-to-back clutch rounds from this guy to start off a retake in previous rounds, to be the one that ends it all, to after losing your duelist, you would be worried the showstopper got traded out. There's quite a resistance from NRG Academy, and he just taps away. Like, that is really impressive out of Zeke to have such a formidable anchor like that. And just like that, the lead swings back in NBG's favor as it's the last round of the half.
NRG's got to be the most potential man team on Split I've seen today. Getting so many good openings, but never being able to just finish that round, finish the book, get the arc completed. Always if, never when. The Shandex is getting some good openings. The team is playing really well with pacing, but it is NBG closing things out round after round, slightly ahead now. 1-4 this time. The conditioning is starting to take into effect. Shandex, who's always at A, has attracted 2 different players to stay on this side. Meanwhile, the rest of NRG really focusing on B and that mid space.
I got the conversion paths. You have the Nightfall. It showers down on the top of Heaven for B. And another insert from Tuesday is going to be a problem. NBG address it. And one problem down, many more to go. You've reset the run it back, and NBG will have to take a seat. It's a moment where Zeke has to choose carefully. Shandex knows there's always a nuisance at the staircase. He's going to decide to zone it off. And with the smoke, there's some security from NRG Academy. But that shell is starting to break. Now that there's some mid presence from NBG, NRG Academy have no space to work with. They just have to defend. They have to overcome and just play the time, play their lives. Such a tough angle to try and beat NBG at. 3 versus 3, last round of the half. And this is where NRG Academy, they shine when the pressure and the spotlight is at its brightness. Zeke will just take care of it all. He's taking over the lobby, but still needs to defuse, and does so 4K and just barely with enough time as my feed breaks. It does not work out. Okay, there we go.
0.5 towards the end. So close, but a successful round for NRG Academy, who were getting trapped down on site. We talked about individual flames inside this game. Hayode started it all off. Unfortunately for him, though, he's been extinguished towards the end. His teams, or his teammates, kind of carry on that torch. They try to get as active as possible on the site, but for the side of NBG, these guys were just rolling in. Zeke was looking so good on that retake. Luckily for him, even though the lines of fear were painted on the ground, being able to land all the shots just took too much time, and as a result, NRG evened it out 6-6. Moving on towards this half now, we have some different qualities for these compositions on each team. Finally, Giza gets to play the game, influence the map a little bit more, not just in post play, but how NBG like to approach, and they've got the double duelist rocking down. I wonder how active they get.
And I wonder how this map's going to go, because NRG Academy have usually gotten so many more rounds on defense. That is their stronger side by far, and they did much better on the defense against M80. So we'll see if NRG Academy can start to take over. It is going to all rely on this pistol, as it's quite the NBG death ball going on, following in the footsteps of the Prowler to check that close corner, to just the paranoia goes right through the entirety of NBG, and the Raze still is self-sufficient. Son of Car is still alive, plays his life, and adjusts to the tempo that his team calls for.
NRG Academy flooding in fast, though. Viper wall screens, disrespected as Angie. Let's take down Zeke for the moment, and screens more pushes happening on the side of NBG. They're getting away from their compact positions on the site. They're pushing past the darkness and elbow, seeing the sunlight of this post plant towards Heaven. Lots of damage though from the side of NBG, though, as they go back towards the site, retake on their own timing, not giving the chance for NRG to really play their own game at all. Ren's now on the site, has to really do everything by himself. Every single player solved on NRG. Not a single fight won, it felt like, from their team on the post plant.
Again.
It's just how NBG can bail themselves out, bail each other out. There's some really good chemistry there, and you wish that there was more done around that insane paranoia that Ange had, but it was really just trying to delay the storm that was coming, and the umbrella just got ripped right out of their hands. So for NBG to now get the pistol is bodes pretty well to try and make sure the defense doesn't flourish too much, which is definitely the better side for NRG Academy as well, when they won 13-7 over ADG. And this is NRG Academy's choice of map after all.
Smoke us to come in. Trying to play against this anti-eco just a little bit. I might be choosing the wrong side. So many players from NRG Academy up in the business are ready to receive that pressure.
NBG knowing that NRG Academy like to be a bit flashy, a bit dashy. And when are they going to show their hand? Is NBG kind of like to create some panic around the map, placing these smokes in positions that NRG Academy like to hold, like in vents, to set up a good fight for NBG, to just spam through with their better weapons to kind of force whoever's in vents into submission, but they don't know if there's a threat in mail. And seeing the stack out of garage, NBG, they were shaken but not stirred, and this does mark that there is quite a stack on the left side, so they'll push towards the opposite.
As Zeke's also pushed the entire way through. A lot of the times you send a weaponless person, maybe just with a sheriff or a ghost, to buy that space, and not only is it bought its own on this side, Ren's also not getting too much value. It's just about the kills here for the side of NRG Academy. Not gonna be able to find too many. This one should be really good to even a few things out, but with a whiff on the back of the head. No haircut today for the side of Sunup. It's gonna be not the most valuable round for the defensive side. Still, 1 kill onto Tuesday. Lots of space gained from Zeke in that round as well. It's going to be 8-6 as rifles start to come online for one side of the teams.
And this is a product of why you run a Phoenix. You get that ultimate online so fast, just like Stunna did at the beginning of this game. He was the first ultimate online. He's always having an impact early, which allows them to get ramped up. Now, NBG had to use that running back on defense last time, so I don't think that it ended up working out there. But to use it on attack is going to be so much better, especially when he can even just go in before Sunup car. Be that extra insurance, but man, the util from the defense to trip them all up. The blind too. NBG just tried to fight their way through the flames, and they walk into a trap.
One enemy remaining.
I just don't believe it. NRG Academy making it look like Waylay needs a nerf right now. I mean, what is going on? That saturate, stopping the double blast back. The read is just so good. Again, both these teams have had such amazing proactive defensive rounds where they decide where the fight starts. They gamble it up. They work for the space, and that work is working out for them. 8-7. If you blink, you must have missed that round. And it's so fast with a 5-stack over on attack on the A main side. This time we should see a little bit more nuance, a bit more of a slow ambiance even, as NBG explores B, has their own Viper, Zeke all the way towards the A side. It's that classic split round.
I like that NRG Academy knew that the Zolt was going to be online. They didn't let them execute or develop a plan around that Phoenix, knowing that you kind of have to wait for the Phoenix to make the space. And NBG, they've taken both pistols, both anti-ecos, can't convert the bonus, and the score is only 8-7. So we're in for an absolute treat when it comes to this series. NBG not scared to spam through the smokes, even through the tracers, the prowler. It's just they don't know what kind of stack could be on the other side of this vent. Is it going to be a solo or a duo?
Not only that, NRG right now, since their sheer wall was not tested, the Vice setup on B, they're so comfortable playing all these positions. Usually the default here is to actually proc that wall, then go and work mid. If you don't do it, the solo anchor has so much comfort in playing this left side. Yeah, an attack smoke here is usually a really big threat on the B side. Even on rotation, caught a little bit. Heode should have been moving maybe through spawn or light speeding through. Even in this hit though later, 38 seconds left, they still haven't taken care of the wall. Thorns activated on all the sides. You have one person playing close on top boxes as well, and a crossfire could be possible if you just drop down to hell as well. Playing on top rafters, I mean, this will be a tough situation. Ton of car in the business. Unchecked is Ange, and with 20 seconds and Thorns in the way, this might be an impossible situation for NBG.
NBG knew the Sentinel, this Vise was gonna be there, and man, NRG Academy built the wall. Still, NBG pierced it through. 8 seconds left to plant. Renz could try and prevent it. Still looking for that secondary, and Zeke is as dependable as ever. NBG close to double digits.
I guess the lurk from Zeke coming in to really help and keep the team active and alive. That being said, the last minute desperation solo swings don't really give me the most confidence in the protocol for NRG there. It feels like they had the advantage in that round and just threw it away with about 15 seconds left. So I'll have to lock in a little bit. First time out for their side to decide exactly how they want to start playing this game as a team. Not going to have enough money for rifles on every single person across their team either. Heyo, who's been so good shooting for them, will be affected a little bit, but might be able to get an orb down, get those convergent paths online, that ultimate that can really shift the tides of a fight. NBG, though, if they win this round, that should be such an advantage at taking this map away, throwing NRG into an eco situation, putting themselves in a spot where they can really get all the way closer to match point.
You're absolutely right. Like when you have 3 thorns, a flash, a wall, like that was triggered. You had a heads up that there's someone around garage. NRG Academy just thought, there's no way. There's no way they come through here. And if they do, we have a plan. And that just got cracked in half. So it's pretty insane that NBG were able to overcome, such a setup that Giza has. Now, does that break NRG Academy's trust in that setup? How is it going to change? Is it going to affect the number of members that could take advantage of it? Because I think there was Ange, maybe one other person, and NBG didn't just double satchel in. They're not sending Son of Car to Narnia. Like, he's still playing more with the team these days, knowing that they could be split up because of this Vise. So NBG, they're doing well to adapt.
Poison orb emitting.
He's switching it up as well, so they can't really challenge this wall, going for more of a receiving delay play, trying to isolate some fights, make sure they don't try to spread over towards site too much.
Poison orb
Same time, look over at the teams, really walk through mid, surprise over in Vents as Heyo gets traded, Son of Car down. I'm not sure who benefits off this trade as much. Vents head to head is able to get another pick as well. Question is, where do you move from here defensively as a team? So many question marks on the map, although you have map advantage or player advantage in terms of numbers. How much space do you control? Zeke, who's been so successful so far, gonna get taken down. 1v2 for Ange. Gonna cut off one of the heads of the snake, and after that, just keep staying alive.
On some lower buys too, because Ren's upgraded from a Stinger and NRG Academy. They really just balance kind of how crazy they need to be. Like Ange getting that one pick, smokes off, but man, there's no help for the planter. Tuzi is off on his own into heaven, and he's gonna have to, I guess, make magic happen on his own. But in a 1v4, we don't believe in magic.
Sometimes, especially from this angle, I've seen some crazy things go down. But today, yeah, Houdini's not here. The rabbit's asleep, and the hats just don't exist. Really good round defensively. The value each player got in their kill and then staying alive afterwards is one of the keys there, I feel like, from NRG Academy. And the best thing for them right now, again, that Vice doing a lot of work at giving them confidence to be on other sides of the map. They're really utilizing Giza setups very well.
And the lead has never been larger than by 2 rounds, and it's swung back and forth. It's NBG once they took the pistol. NRG Academy were able to up the tempo off of their waylay. They took over. Then we had a 6-6 half. Now NBG win another pistol. They're in the lead, and here's NRG Academy in the shadow. Like, it's such a war between these two teams. As the stack from NBG, it's actually a 1-3-1, trying to really assess each section of the map and see what they can really create. But if NRG Academy, they just outnumber them in moments, this could break NBG apart. They're not careful.
Have to move in as a unit as well. Their weapons are not as strong individually. Pain shells coming in. Gotta back off. Sean Dex linking it up with the rest of the team. On A now is where that interruption utility is. Tuzi not going to be super punished, saturated in the way, but at the same time, he has one more shot to use. Not going to be able to get anything out of it. We move over to the rest of the team, kind of skilling over on other sides of the map. Okay. Light speed, refract, getting lots of information, seeing 3, taking a picture and saying bye-bye. We'll send it to you in the mail. We know your home address is that A site. That's where you want to end right now, NBG. Shundex Flash is able to almost get the heist away, but it is stolen by NBG. Zeke again with the lurk. This guy is untrackable, unsensible, cold-blooded as he moves through these sites. Renz has the timing, and he is not going to stay on the clock. So the car wants to lock the round down. A showstopper pushed in. Hayoday has a bit of a gap. Can move forward slightly, but is scared of that rocket.
Just heard that rocket whistle by. You know the planter is behind the site as safe as they can. Stunner with the run it back. He says, come at me, bro. Hayoday gonna give some respect to it. A moment for Stunner to not only get an upgrade, but to wrap around. Time expires. He's back to neutral. Good for Hayoday to wait for that delay. And now here's to engage. This costs Hayoday time, but will it cost him the round? And he gets the last laugh. An NRG Academy tie.
Can always rely on Hayoday, and again, value from every single player on their life. It's insane that he's able to isolate that 1v1 on the screens, take his time, delay the run it back, and then just be so confident in the fights overall. I feel like right there, fighting screens, Stunner's supposed to swing and peak, but was just not ready for it just yet. Having the run it back, sometimes too many options, too much power can be too much for one player. 9-9 now. You're talking about the pendulum swinging back and forth. Lemon, that's how one team just can't win more than 2 rounds. It seems to be that magnetization that's still in effect here between both these teams.
And just for NRG Academy, know when to slow it down. Like, it's in moments where Ange plays his life, Hayoday plays his life. Just stayed in cover against that run it back, but just front and center with the op. And okay, the opposite of what I just said happened. He's not able to refract and shot through the wall. And NBG, they're just not going to wait for that retaliation of NRG Academy to close that gap.
It's a mental stack. It's the pressure. Soul Whaley alone trying to get some space down in mid. Another team push, and this off angle is dangerous. 2 kills. Your smoker down for now. Still a few screens to put in. Nightfall coming in to push a lot of these players back, not giving them a chance to really attack at all. Scans way deep, so Renz knows where to peek, and it's not going to be able to actually attach bullets to heads for this time. Look at the space though, all the way Omen on the other side of the map. Tuzi is solved. Lemon.
Such a mixed game plan here. As NBG, they had put their Phoenix wall up. They had a really good setup. Their Omen got beat for free, and this kind of delay, this hesitation, cost NBG an opportunity that I think they could have pressed the advantage that they had, but they weren't sure what to do. And NRG Academy got to step back into the game, and they will maintain that lead, which was tough because NRG Academy took a timeout and they looked like they were making these micro adjustments, I should say. But then they played way too fast. They dropped the op. Some friends had to go and pick it up, and then they kind of, NRG Academy seemed behind on the game until NBG just took a break to talk about which site they wanted to hit. And I think Tuzi being over at B really confused them.
They still solved it. We're still able to lock things down. And yeah, for NBG, so many spoons in the pot stirring, nobody actually tasting the food. I like it. You have so many lurks active, and it happens almost every single round. I feel like Zeke is getting so much space as well, even on these ecos. But if you're not going to use any of the space, if everybody's lurking, nobody's getting that spike down. Nobody's actually going to be able to touch that site. 1-3-1 again for these guys as we move through, trying to get some semblance of control. B is going to be the option, and the best play for them to make. It's some of the tightest sight lines here if they can segment them. With all these sheriffs and the stingers, they're going to have to really look for close range fights.
This 1-3-1 is something NBG have done before. It does weaken their fights if they do meet NRG Academy face to face. But playing this front to back, they scale through the map. They don't let any gaps to NRG Academy by having at least someone on each side of the perimeter. NBG, they've been given mid. They've scared the defense into submission. Now where do they go? They have to try and crunch with Zeke into heaven. If they can get Zeke in a position to Viper's Pit, this could be a moment to get away with a thrifty, but the op has shown its face. Hayoday is going to be a threat. No way you repeat this. The bait and switch gets the op down, and the pistols, the stingers, they ring true. Son of Car recovers the op, and NRG Academy have to retake.
Got some time to work with. Spike just went down. Defensive players already here. Lots of people locked down in sight though. Tuzi will be the solution if it's possible. First stop shot hits.
Oh, and it's just the one shot, and it's just not good. NRG Academy, no, the op doesn't have a lot of space. You do not want to touch that angle. Giza is at half health, and well, okay, managed to get Stellar through the wall. NBG weakened, time running out, and the op gets distracted, but Son of Car takes out the pistol and ends it in a thrifty to tie our game.
He's just so talented, and again, both these teams having their star player rise up to the occasion when a clutch or hold a site down in ways that are super unrealistic. How you describe to your friends you'd win a 1v4 against some of the pro players in the world. Would it actually happen? Well, if you're Son of Car, absolutely. Insanity, even with the classic towards the very end. Staying compact on site. I don't think Tuesday was a part of any of those fights either. Just some level of insurance there that they're not going to need to use. 10-10 for them.
2 rounds in a row, the NRG Academy, they try some stuff with the op and it gets dropped, and NBG, they are able to punish it. NRG Academy need to find more safety, play an op in a much safer position, which I think Hayode is anything but that. He's a duelist that loves to get in your face, but he is also an incredible shot. So NBG, they have the weapon advantage, and they're coming up to a nice pair of ult cycles. They got Showstopper, they got Run It Back. They have a lot to try and push to the finish line, and NBG know they smell blood in the water. They dispatch Shondex. They're spammed through the smoke, and NRG Academy are in submission. They do try to bite back, bark back even, and NBG just decide to ignore it. But Stunna is in a position that you would think he is trapped, but you're trapped in there with him. As NRG Academy not looking like they could pull off another thrifty at this point, not with NBG finally leveraging their advantage.
Really getting confident, pushing over there to that site. Solo player Stunna still a bit of a worry for me. You don't want to give away too much in these rounds, but at the same time pushing over towards match point. No orb to gain for Stunna either. This is just confidence, a good read from him in this time, and a good section of the map to cut off in terms of the retake. Getting closer towards defender spawn though. And screens, we look over at Giza, who has a chance, but nobody I think on the side of NBG really stands a chance when these guys are starting to get active. Okay, that's one. Big 2 from NRG. Ange cutting down the line a little bit.
Fake TP2, that was really funny, and just kind of playing the mind games in a moment where you just thought any other player would just run and thinking they had the time to escape, and he just kind of knew the spacing perfectly to get 2 kills in a position that a lot of players would have just died with that weapon. Ange lives and gets a double kill out of it, so pretty impressive in a moment like that, as NBG though still are in the driver's seat when it comes to this. On again, NRG Academy's map pick, the final timeout now used from NRG Academy, both used in this half, and the first one just a few rounds ago in round 17, but this netted them a lot more success on their defense, even pulling out a thrifty at some point. So moments like this really gives composure to NRG Academy.
Have to try to find as much as possible, because again, as you said, Lemon, yeah, this game is going very back and forth, trying to break that streak as well of the amount of wins they have in a row. MG want to get to 4 to finish out this map entirely. Gonna be tossed over on Eco. NRG Academy have 2 rules now. The first one's always there, try to win the round, but the second new added rule for this one is try not to lose too many players. This timeout as well could be discussing them from the shadows, could be discussing a lot of the Viper's pits and different ultimates available for them, because they will make a difference in this round.
And spending down to 0 with light armor for Hayode, this is a big risk when you've seen less consistent value from the op. Now that NBG are not scared of it. If anything, they're even stealing the op from them once it gets dropped. So I think there was only one time Renz was able to recover the op. So NRG Academy, they have usually been able to babysit Hayode in those moments, and this time it will be Giza, who could easily steal Garden. Worst comes to shove.
You know, it could be here. Flash, run it back, up and away, light speed, and Stunna gets denied. Train, I didn't think that would happen. Showstopper active now on the side of the attacking team to really slow down the B take. Not gonna find much yet. Okay, op still online. Chaos as these guys try to enter the site. Giza's hold is just too strong.
Steel Garden almost came out way too late. Like NBG were already knocking at the door. They didn't even trigger the Vice wall. I mean, Tuzi bought so much time playing his life once he teleported past it, but kind of a messy round for NBG. They still are going to try and push through no matter what. NRG Academy, equal numbers. And now the Vipers pin, but Car down. Neighbors close by. NBG trying to maintain the crossfire. The trust is there, and the plant will be as well as the regroup. Shondex and Ange on opposite sides. The Nightfall as panic, and the pressure as NBG don't lock any targets, but hey, information gained. Stellar checks the corner. Shondex checks him at the door, and Zeke has to live on, but he steps out of the pit. But this is all a ruse. Ange and Shondex don't know. They step in. It's a bad moment for Zeke, but a moment he strikes as Ange now. Skies are clear immediately on the spike. Can't even get it to half. He loses HP in the process as Zeke. It's a chess match. The mind games and the patience paying off. He's not even going to blink, and Ange is just going to be sent to heaven at this point. One last swing. Zeke's tucks away. I mean, he's playing with this food, and no time to defuse. Match point for NBG.
We talked about some of the reasons why NRG Academy can't even lose players in that round. 12-10. Map point, as Lemon said, and no money to work with. Having a Guardian half armor in this one. You can see dodges and toes. You can see so many things right now from the side of NBG. Whatever they want to do right now will be at advantage and will work here. Fast play, something very slow and deliberate. They have the better rifles to be able to fight with. Retake will be so much harder for NRG Academy.
The win rate goes up tremendously if Zeke is deep into these rounds. I mean, how many times has this guy closed it out? Not even just the number of kills, but the game IQ, how cerebral he is in his decision making. And he's just on a Viper too. He's not even on anything that could really throw you for a loop. The snake bites too, how he's able to break up Hayode from the rest. I mean, this guy has been a clear MVP for me. But that only matters if they win the map. And NBG, one step closer. The lead has never gotten bigger than 2. And NBG, they won both pistols, and it's still this close of a match. You have to give respect to NRG Academy. It's not over yet.
Don't try staying locked in. This is where Zeke's found value before. Nothing there this far. Prowler towards the top of ramp. This off angle. Seen. Found by NBG. So fast. And again and again, Zeke, this guy has been piloting this attack side slowly, silently, this time screaming in rage, trying to end the map with these shots.
And Ange has been in that spot before to go for these 4K paranoias at NBG. They just are so aware. Their reads, they're clean. Not giving an inch to NRG Academy as NBG take a mile on their map pick, 13-10.
Towards the end there, NBG finally came alive. Every single player was playing their piece perfectly, covering each other, being able to get one when somebody else went down, and at the same time get the value of 2 players over and over again on that attack side. The best thing about it too is that it was at such a comprehensive level. They were playing.
We've got Lotus.
We got War.
We've got Son of Car.
And we got Hayode.
And we've got Map 2, baby. We're excited for this one. Absolute cinema between these two teams. NBG took both pistols last time, but it's NRG Academy on defense first. I'm excited, Shayo.
I'm so excited. This map is where the duelists really get to shine. And Split, yeah, there's a bit of a difference. Still a lot of team play. You can individually take over though, and the spearhead really matters on Lotus.
Absolutely. And this big spears, or the tip of the spears between Hayode and Son of Car, which, hey, definitely a strong start for NRG Academy with him. You know, that big 4K, he almost had an ace so early on, but then NBG just downloaded him and even stole away the op a couple times. It was really a close split. I can't lie.
Super close. And one of the things you saw inside that split is a bit of that proactivity on defense, a bit of that speed pickup on attack as well from both these teams. Those proactive fights, that is the flavor, that is the entire ethos of Lotus. It's exactly what you have to do on defense. Mirror comps, that's what we kind of highlight these duelists. It's about the individuality and where you choose to be proactive on this map. Mound fight a little bit, smoke to cover the one way as well, but it's all about where you choose to start fighting. A very different approach from NRG Academy is to just keep this triple death ball moving across the map, trying to challenge and interrupt where NBG want to go.
And a bright part of NBG's pistol was a double kill from Tuzi. So every now and then he gets to shine. Zeke is, I mean, my MVP from NBG. And you have Son of Car who could server admin at any point. Almost a quick encounter as Tuzi looks away from Shondex just for a second. And NRG Academy will gain first blood. There's also a Vise wall that just got triggered. So this is really a tough spot for Son of Car. But no one was on the site of C to do anything about it.
And they've lost their thrusters on A, but the rocket still goes to the moon and plants its flag right on the site. There is that C spike going down. All about holding on now. You have to get proactive somewhere on this side, and they've chosen Waterfall NBG up against Shondex, who's wary of this. He's careful. Does he see the close range angle coming in? Son of Car has two players to deal with himself. Tries to dip in, tries to see, but time is ticking away as more of his teammates die right behind him. Here comes the spray, double time. No ammo inside the pistol either. Stellar, so many shots to take with the Ghost. 2 is all that he can grab as the rest of NRG have a very good flood in for that retake.
And mixed signals between Son of Car and Stunna. When they went for Paranoia, you thought he had a good connection there. You thought there was a double swing, and Son of Car tucked away and maybe waited for a better opportunity to 1v2, and then Reload ends up being his biggest op, and that's how the NBG fell also in that double up towards Waterfall. So, you know, comms can sometimes break down in those moments. NRG Academy, though, a much needed pistol, the first one of the series. After you thought more of a delayed approach, they gave up sight completely for free, weren't able to play off their Vise util from Giza. But that's what we like about this Sentinel. He's so intelligent. He knows to go for quality opportunities and not just any of them, especially when NRG Academy caught NBG lacking on that first encounter, but getting into the face of action is Stunna, who's just gonna cross the threshold and die because of it.
They're the only maniac playing inside smokes against Nico, and his aim is just as maniacal. Cannot be stopped. This guy needs one more shot. Is he gonna be able to put him down? The highlight reel's not there, but the win is for NRG on the board.
And also really impressed me, even on split, the way that he was very self-sufficient over at ramps. I think at one point he had a 3K with similar mechanics, just these one taps, so clean for someone like Ange. And I think on the NBG side, they were the ones who had the quick kills on split to get things going, but they were also running a Phoenix, so they're able to gather momentum so much earlier. But what NRG Academy did so well, and why that split was so close, is how they adapt and how they fix issues so fast. And there's not really an issue here. You have to throw 4 bodies at someone with a Guardian to kill them. So NRG Academy is sitting very pretty behind those weapons.
One-way mix-up here, unless Heyo was planning to use the smoke in a pop fashion. No flash to be able to be used. Again, as you mentioned, no Phoenix to move on with momentum or really challenge these smokes from either side. Second one-way will hit this time, so things are looking good. Choose not to challenge Mound for the moment. Move on to other sides of the map. Yeah, Tuzi was discovered in that pistol round a little bit, but this time using that Viper to scale away on Rubble and push down the A line. Rens going back and forth. Less weaponry. Remember, this is the bonus for NRG Academy. It's all about finding that value that Lemon was talking about in that previous round. This time again, and much more of a bigger challenge.
And now that Zeke went from the Viper to the Fade, I mean, that Nightfall is going to be such a good fighting ultimate to have early, which he's 2 away from. NBG testing the waters, knowing that someone in tree is always there, and Giza just 6 feet under, and immediately clean shots from Son of Car, who gets to repeat his raised performance from map to map. And now getting involved as Andrew teleports over just so the retake can happen that much faster. He'll make first contact. He's about to get smoked off. He wants to disrespect that one way, and he pays the price. Son of Car has a boom bot with the assist, and NRG Academy are just getting stuffed at that top choke point.
About living here with some of these rifles, though, the value on the side of NRG Academy is just getting kills. That's what Hayode loves to do. Everybody now trapped on site. Tree being opened up as well. That's probably the most exciting and monumental fight of this one going so far. Son of Car is able to get Shondex down, and trying to breathe on site, just 30 HP, suffocating. Moving around, Hayode still finding value in this one. It's not a guarantee of a win. 1v1 between Tuzi and Hayode. Time ticking, swindling down. The fight's are to be found, but the round is gone. Value there for the side of NRG in the kills. The board, though, goes towards the side of NBG.
I still think that was so close, and the impact that Hayode just gave them a swinging chance coming in through the flank, getting that one tap so fast on this Vise over here and communicating to Ange that you already had a wide angle. You can go through a tree, flush out that player into basically a 1v2, which they then lose. And that came down to a 1v1 where NBG should have been secure even earlier than that. So seems to be some really good comms coming in through NRG Academy's side, but NBG still denied the bonus. You have an outlaw in this picture over at the staircase on the right side of the map with all the Sentinel util, but flushed outside or out of mound is NBG, who smelled blood in the water. And oh, this Prowler marking someone on the left. Showstopper with the sun don't shine. At least it's traded. Shomnix gets his revenge, and still Stunna teleports in and has an impact. Nightfall too rains down on the waterfall parade where the Renz is sitting. The IGL is now smoked off, no longer hindered. Prowler through. Aode is just gonna go crazy. I mean, he didn't even need help in that moment, but now NRG Academy are assembled. The Showstopper gives them a kill without needing to trade. That is impact right there. One man advantage for the defense.
Crouching Tiger hitting Stellar though, trying to find some value. He's going to be taken about by the Outlaw as well. Renz Giza, the up down. Going to be a really good strategy to just solve this double peak that might be coming in from the side of NBG. Almost able to get that full heist. Heo now 30 HP. Both players living with just one lung. A single breath from either will topple the other over.
Left.
Heo's just waiting on that sightline. Not sure if the spike has been picked up. Stellar already moving over, does not want to give in to the ego of this fight.
16 HP. I mean, you breathe on Stellar, he dies, and he's not even gonna go for B. I mean, 13 seconds. What a risk. He's gonna go to the other side of the map, and Heode is on his tail, thinking this is gonna be the best sightline to have a disadvantage for this Outlaw that you know that Heode has, and Stellar's gonna get ahead of the game. The only way he wins is if he has the crosshair on Heode before the other side. And he's trying to wrap around, maybe surprised, but decides to also stay close to the spike in case Heode comes through B. You do not want to have him position on the spike. Stellar needs to maintain that line of sight. Oh, what was that hurt? A 16 HP. Heode, oh, you thought he had the jump, but Stellar has the shot. That's a thrifty for NBG.
Huge for them to be able to turn that round their way, and so many cool things done to be able to make it possible. First of all, on attack, Son of Car starting a nade very deep to do some damage on some of the retreaters coming in, even on the Omen that tried to go backwards, and then you have the distraction of a TP to get everybody in towards the smoke on the attacking side. From there, just talent as well from every single player going for these trades, picking up some of the weapons. Double swing, they make it a 1v1, and then towards the end of it too, it's really good plays to mosh the entire round down. This time proactivity coming in, but nothing of value being gained too much from the side of NRG Academy, except for some space shoved in towards the Vise. An eco round, so all NRG Academy are looking for is just, again, some kills.
So far, only NBG, I think, have gotten thrifties. Like, what they can do on lower buys is truly superb, and Giza just overwhelmed, hoping to just hit the one shot with the Sheriff, but too many people crossing in front of him. Stunna stands above Renz in a moment where he just kind of goes in solo from Waterfall. It's Hail Mary plays when you have a bunch of Sheriffs, and it's NBG. How far can they go from here when the best ult you have in the future is going to be the Steel Garden? And NBG, they're a team that can really start to streak once they get that energy going.
Oh, here it goes. Here is NRG going.
Yeah.
Back to the Craze for now. Bit of value for Heode, but nothing past that. Ange ready with some smokes or a play of his own. Going to be stopped by Zeke, and the orbs are going to be put onto some of these players that really need him for now to get those ultimates back online, either the second wave of them or the first time we're going to be seeing him so far in this half. NRG, I feel like sometimes they're a bit too far back in where they are challenging on the map. I realize that that is an eco round, but even the previous one, being pushed off mound so fast, being shoved away from A lot of the time as well. They're really relying the most on Giza, it seems like, to be able to delay as much as possible. You saw one round in the pistol where I think you pointed out, Lemon, it did work, but they've got to get more than just a reliance on their Sentinel. They've got to fight for control and hold on to it on some of the sides of this map.
And this has been kind of a weakness of someone like Giza. I mean, he was 0-4 in terms of first kills, first death in that encounter against YFT, but it doesn't matter because it's 13-9. This is a team effort. And NRG Academy, they always supplement each other in moments, well, when the initial game plan gets broken down and they have to retake. So NBG are just going to be going down main, but the door to C Link opens and a chance for Ange to poke and prod. It does split up NBG, and there's a Viper's wall that could split things up at any moment. Prowler, here's the flood. NBG making some contact, but no kills, and the play just goes down in the midst of all of this chaos. And there's an op in the picture too. NBG want to paint a different picture, but it's the blood of NRG Academy against the walls that they have in mind. NRG Academy are so worried right now, but they have the numbers. They're just talking about how they want this util to be dumped in, and now they're just out of tools. And now it's the bullets that have to do all the talking. Shondex makes entry. Giza's playing with this food. NBG's focus is being split. Batuzion in the middle of this island. He stands taller. But NRG Academy, they have trades. They found a moment in, and Tuzi adjusts, and 3 kills is not enough for NBG to hold on.
Suffocating, the walls closing in on the side of NBG. They had the plant down, they might have had the numbers, but they didn't have the space to be able to work B. The biggest thing about this site, just like we saw on split B or even on A on split as well, you get the spike down, but you need control of one of the extremities. You can't have the defenders have a voice on every single portion of the map. Their B room challenge, the door opened as well, the up online and waterfall, and nobody was in control of heaven. We had Tuesday at the amusement park playing whack-a-mole. That was their strongest person on the site. They had no space past him, just trying to refight over and over again towards that angle. So I'm concerned for some of these post plans from NBG. They need more space if they want to stay longer on this map and survive for a longer period of time.
One thing you can be confident in is, okay, you got some haunt info there, but also Hayode is 13-3, and he's bought up again down to 0 credits. He is really willing to risk it for the biscuit. And NBG, well, they do just get their ticket right into tree, and NRG Academy are not going to hang around there. Ange taking a much safer position.
Still have one anchor on site, but the question is, in this post plant, once it's there, where do they go? They can't stay on the site. They still have to solve a lot. Ange in this angle, sleeping on it, 50-50 gambling, but I think he didn't even need to. Had some teammates for support, pushing all the way towards the back. Son of Car getting some space. That pit will let them stay on the site, but again, really static in this moment. Giza finding one. Steel Garden pushes them back. They still don't have the space limit.
And a disconnect between Shondex and Ange just cost those 2 anchors. The Viper's pit is up. Hayode, it's eviction notice being delivered, and rent is due. Zeke pays the price. Numbers now for the retake as the Viper's pit comes down, and Stellar has to pick up the pieces. There's some weaknesses on that side, and the defuse gets killed. It's halfway, and all you have to do is finish the job. The blood armor is just stronger. It diffuses right in front of Stellar.
3rd time's the charm on the defuse, getting half. It's crazy there. You'd assume an instant reload might have come in to get more bullets to spam. Maybe didn't have enough in the chamber at all or in reserve. But the biggest concern for me is how these post-play positions are going for NBG. Again, pushed back in the tree there, even up against an anchor that could have delayed a little bit of time. You solve it, but afterwards, nobody's pushing in certain spots. You could have fought for stairs together, could have pushed into heaven. None of those options came through.
And despite NRG Academy, they've won 2 rounds in a row. They're the ones calling the timeout because I think Ange and Shondex have to organize. Are they holding tree? Are they holding back? Are they bailing? Are they supporting each other? Because I felt like Shondex kind of abandoned Ange when he was on the site alone, when he could have played a lot safer. There was a lot of trust in Shondex there.
Yeah, there was a 2-man angle, perfectly pointed out by Lemon Kiwi right there. What was going on in that round? A lot of the times it's not just about winning, but making sure you're winning in the correct ways. And yes, NBG have their own mistakes where that NRG are kind of locked into right now. Their floods are going really well. But if you have a site held like that, if Ange is living that long back site, you got to be able to make sure it's cohesive on their side. So they get to breathe, they get to fix their mistakes before it leads into more bleeding. Lucky round for them, honestly, on a man disadvantage against the pit. They get to find some value.
It was the Omen smoke that broke that up for Shondex, and he couldn't adjust or maybe communicate to Ange that he was solo in time, and too many angles for Ange to watch. And you do not want to win rounds by just barely getting a defuse off in front of someone watching you. So NRG Academy want more confidence and better closures to these rounds. Only a 1-round lead now for NRG Academy, sensing now some aggression over at Mound.
They'll give it all away. They started with their brawl players all the way on the A side, ready to receive some pressure. They move on to still playing this back line on C, letting NBG move in on their pace. NBG has done such a good job so far at getting onto these sites, breaking a lot of this util and moving past. There's that sheer wall gone. KO falls a little bit. No armor on him either, by the way, on this round. Just raw buying Vandal.
And NRG Academy are changing up their C position. They don't have someone tucked in as close. And the way that Zeke is getting so much value out of his Prowler to check not only that first left corner, but to go all the way towards almost the back of C. Like, there's so much information there. You proc, like you said, the Vice wall, and NRG Academy are left kind of watching what NBG's move is going to be. You don't want to overreact in a moment like this. And NBG lurking away to see our NRG Academy going to shift their positions.
NBG in a really good job, or doing a really good job right now, of working this map and finding the correct site with less people dying and going away. The read might be wrong though this time. They've usually hit the site that has a bit more of an advantage towards them. This anchor from NRG is about to go nuclear. Hale's gonna find the first. It's a firing line and the spikes inside of it as well. No chance for an approach from NBG.
A little shaky there from Ange, but if there's something NRG Academy can always depend on, it's a guy dropping like 15 and 3 right now, 15 and 4. Like, he's doubling everyone else's kills. It's Heyo Day, man. NRG Academy, they can continue to rely on their superstar, but he needs to be loud and proud throughout the game. But is it always going to be up to him? Yes, there's a 3-stack, and Heyo Day gets the initial double kill. But what else can NRG Academy do if they're just always going to be grouped up? Can they do more solo plays? Is it always Heyo Day? But either way, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. Whatever gets the win. NBG, the initial aggression at Mound. Now there's 2 smokes kind of disrespecting each other, allowing NRG Academy to be more forward, potentially get something out of this encounter, as Ange has to teleport out so he doesn't get seized.
Able to reset the round for now. Tuesday still has such good space on the other side of the map. I wonder if they use it. Trying to take things out. Nightfall towards the right side. Ange is not affected. Has a thorn to play off of as well. I mean, they've stopped and just consumed an entire ultimate. Haven't even tripped the wall yet. The C side is still so strong. They'll go over to Tuesday. Is it enough though? As there is already one person on site. Ren's ready to receive pressure.
And will be Shondex and Ren's this time. Ange swapping over to C since that timeout. And NBG, like you pointed out, they're so good at working the map. It's got NRG Academy playing this cat and mouse game. They exhaust every second they can, and now they break into B. They still haven't cleared it quite yet. Tuesday, though, makes sure that they're not going to get flanked, and that's what's been consistent about him, as NBG have to stop the entries, and they're going to be proactive about it. Son of Car just swings around a corner with help of his initiator. They just pave the way, but wait, they get stopped by a wall. Ange is already taking a much more spacious angle, but wait a minute, NBG, they've let NRG Academy in.
Yeah, pinballing all over the map, finding a site. Still, this pinball needs to leave the board. Suffocated on site again right now. They tried waterfall, found no space. Raid boss Heyo Day finally taken down. So one of the rounds where they're bunkered on site does work out for them still. Looked worrying, wasn't a guarantee, and that's not good if you want to take the lead and find a formula that works for you on the side of NBG. Still a round down, and still don't have an outlier in terms of a superstar player. Yeah, Son of Car might be on top of the board. You're not 17 and 8 like Heyo Day though. This guy is frying right now.
Just in these solo duels, and that really came down to that. NBG just overextended so much out. They spread themselves thin. There was maybe one buddy system towards the top of B, but they really needed to regroup and to remember what the goal was, which was to protect B and solidify the choke points, which then NBG came out on top of. But man, this one way is disrespected again. The Prowler, the Boombot, Stunner with 2, Son of Car with the 3rd, and NBG just barely scraped by in that ward. They still have to pick up the spike. A moment for Renz to shot Shine over in Waterfall, and he's been the anchor at that point. But NBG giving a lot of respect to him because they're going to follow through with Tuesday's calling out as the site is open at A.
So to challenge him on the rotate towards B main, chooses to go straight back into spawn and looks to maybe affect that A side if possible. Now, the only reason they rotate all the way over to A is if they already had a player there. I think Renz knows that. We can see that because we get to look at both teams on the minimap. And as a result, Renz does make the good call not to jump into this 3v1 for now. The game is very close. And if you look at their economy right now, Renz cannot afford a rifle in the next round. So keep that Vandal over to have a bit of a bigger voice up against NBG. And I kind of like it. They're challenging that status quo absolutely in these rounds. A lot of the times they would condition that attacking smoke to deny the one way, but they've never teleported inside of it and gone for trades before. So I'm liking the fact they're going for these all-in fights. They know it's 5v3 at least on the side of C, and they get so much more than they bargained for as well. No trades on the side of NRGA Academy.
Yeah, NBG just went for the more guaranteed play. You either go up against Renz in a 2v1, or you go to an open site and hope to out macro the defense, or out macro Renz in that case. And this is a map that it's hard to cut off those rotations. And the fact that Tuesday, I mean, he was such an incredible lurk over at Split, being self-sufficient, getting picks on his own on the opposite side of the world, and him getting that info on Renz pretty much was the nail in the coffin that Renz had no advantages to work with. So NBG are able to keep this as close as they can. Post timeout for NRG, they haven't really downloaded the solution. They're 1-2 since that timeout.
I feel like even before the timeout, like NBG, 5 out of 6 rounds at least, Tuesday's found free A space over and over again. This guy is like treating Rubble like his home. I can help you rebuild it if you want. You could install a kitchen, get you cooking. They've got so much A space, and with that conditioning now, they're actually letting the rest of the players crawl up A. You'd assume Tuesday would be there kind of quietly, and they're taking over B. They can crunch over towards the C side too. This is good map control from NBG.
There's a hero rifle from Renz.
Night.
That would be the only saving grace. NRG Academy are a team that on these saves, they like to go for more solo heroics with these pistols, and it hasn't really worked out. If anything, it's fodder for a team like NBG. But wait, this crunch, the trap that NBG just walked into, gave some much needed upgrades. 1 Vandal, 1 Outlaw in the hands of NRG Academy.
Blow up their advantage a little bit, but the retake is just still coming so far away. They can bunker on site if they want, because right now, Tuesday's in a really good spot to get one of these earlier fights happening. But as he moves further back, you got to make sure you're taking some form of space on the other side of the map. And yes, pushed into defender spawn. I love that from the side of NBG right now. And I have crazy angles. One teleport coming in, so you don't have an issue actually attacking the site. Hayode finding Zeke, so now there's problems. This is a must-win fight for Tuesday. Picking apart one building, just sandcastles a foundation here on Mound. It's huge for him. It doesn't topple down either. Ren's now stuck in the river, stuck in the moat, and unable to cross. He tries to get a voice in, but they pull the bridge up, and there's no way you get a chance to retake this site.
Tuesday, I love the way he played around cover there, because sometimes in just a head-on-head duel against Hayode, you might lose that, because sometimes Hayode is just a laser and you just get tapped before you even have a chance to shoot back. And I like that Tuesday is just drawing out all the ammunition, trying to break those crosshairs, didn't face Hayode head-on. If anything, Tuesday's friend got shot down trying to help Tuesday, and Tuesday had to take care of business. The way he throws this snake bite to make sure that he doesn't get pushed and isolates these 1v1s, so smart of Tuesday, and really weakens the last remnants of NRG Academy to let Stunna finish it. So just barely hanging on though is NBG. Last round of the half. Are we going to get another 6-6? It's an exchange, but the op drops for NRG Academy.
No op on one side, no darkness on the other. Smoke's going as well means for NBG, this next play has to be very, very fast. He's getting value and traded as well inside the smoke across the map at least, and they've made so much A space now. The question is, with a minute on the clock, do they actually attach themselves to it? Prowler finds Giza, pushes him back. Tuesday is able to receive that catch, and now A is really open for the taking.
Finally, NBG get kills without needing to sacrifice someone for it. It's again, Tuesday playing his life, going back into cover, not re-challenging quite yet, and it's the Viper's Pit to prevent Renz from having an easy fight, as he'll have to navigate through that, but wants to time it with Shondex.
The retake wraparound here has to be solved. Sean Dex looking to make it work. The timing perfect. Now 2v2, tides evened out, a pit in the way. Hot also to be thrown in the fray, but both players are able to look inside the doorway and get value. Renz can't stick it as HP falls, ticks down to time. One shot at a too close range. The spray from Tuzi is good. A 4K from the guy who I think made this half possible for NBG.
Yeah, so winnable if Tuzi is deep into this round. I mean, this guy's so smart and just makes the rounds. You have to claw your way back in if Tuzi is in this, and it took already time to address the rubble thing, which then allowed this fade to get front and center bodyguard. That was Renz that had initial good stop. And NBG, they have only but a small lead, so we'll see if NRG Academy can scrape by another pistol. But that was also because of maybe a small lapse in NBG's attack, where they got actually picked by Tuzi earlier on. So I think NBG are composed after a very stressful split, I'm sure.
This map, Tuzi's just finding so much value, and you saw the way that NBG were able to use his value, you know, this lurk down on A as conditioning over and over again. NRG can do the same thing. They need that pistol on the board though to have the room to be able to do it. Sometimes conditioning costs lost rounds, and so far if your star duelist, the tip of the spear as we talked about, goes down, you're going to be losing in this war. There are no reinforcements coming in this pistol round. Losing it actually gains you less troops for the rest of the match. You don't have as many rounds to play, so I don't know how they bring this one back. Again, they've gained space with their Viper on the A side. NRG are starting to move in. I wonder if their post plans are as dynamic.
Yeah, for NBG to have their own focus split, because they were opening the B-Link door, and for Ange to still lock in, or well, for NBG to still lock in that moment to get him down. But Giza's at 34 HP. Here's a swing from Zeke, and man, his shot is always clean, winning these duels, giving a chance now for NBG to end this pistol in their favor as Stellar tucks away. Now he's tucked into his coffin. NRG Academy still have to overcome this, and as a team, they're making up for it in kills. Only a few more members left, make it 3 for Zeke, as Shondex just has to protect the spike, and it doesn't seem possible if he even doesn't have anyone else left with him. And NBG find themselves on top again thanks to either Tuzi or Zeke. There's so much heroics from this side.
And you can see the practice they've been putting in from week to week really showing in that fight, particularly in this map entirely as well. The movement from every player playing with each other, the back and forth and door. I think the worst thing for NBG in the past was how they took these fights as a team. You'd always have one person leaning way too far into the fight. On that door spot specifically, excellent ADing to make sure that you have a final clasp of a double swing coming in. Amazing bait towards the cross on stairs as well on the side of NBG to make sure that all three players stay alive. Their mechanics are in tandem with their teammates now. This team is getting scary in the playoffs.
I mean, technically, yeah, NBG are on that 5-round win streak. I mean, the confidence is blossoming, but wait, a thorn in their side, and lurking in the shadows, and Son of Carve wasn't tunneled in, even a second just off the bandit, but Zeke matches band for band, and then NBG just have the good weapons for such a close range duel like this, but Tuzi has enough on his plate already. Bullets expended to deal with the boom bot, and Giza perfectly timed with the blind on top, and as quick as lightning, NRG Academy find themselves around.
Yeah, that right there too in that round I think was a bonus specifically coming in. No, I think that might have been, yeah, no, okay. It wasn't actually. Sana was there with a ghost, which is why I feel like that site wasn't as easy to hold. And you look at their economy, they were completely thwarted. Might have been a force on the side of NRG Academy to make sure that this is a possibility here. So as a result, NBG thrown back into a loop and staying on their sheriffs and pistols. They'll have to emulate what NRG Academy just did with even less economy. Hey, are they 20-9 right now, really again leading this team in aggression, and they've mostly just bunkered down on one side of the map. He hears that step coming in from the shadows, and Stunna gets denied.
Interesting peek from Stunna. When he had two other teammates with him, he's not in a position where he could be traded or even support in that moment. Maybe thought this was a very passive smoke and there would be maybe a lurk towards spawn, but it's a risk that he took to get information, and that's what he paid. And NRG Academy try try to outnumber C, but just the threat of a Vice Sentinel and whatever else that could be up Tuzi's sleeve. NRG Academy are stuck, and now no longer. They'll step forth into the arena, tucked into Waterfall. It's going to be the spears of NBG to try and pierce through the plot armor of NRG Academy, but the Bandit, this thing, are so good at brawling as Zeke waits for some good timing, as everyone seems so low, but even he can't get a kill. So NRG Academy about to close the gap in the score after, like you said, forcing in that anti-eco.
Saw the rest of the team start to use some of their utility towards the end of the round on the side of Nightblood Gaming, just because Son of Car got a pick across the map and picked up an outlaw. I think the team started to realize the round might be winnable. Let's use the snake bite, maybe set up a thorn or two if we can, but they didn't see the full translation there after getting that pick on the eco. This will be the round that decides who starts to lead in this half. Shoving NBG back on an eco round, and at the same time for NRG Academy, kind of slicing their economy in half. It's a super bonus for them right now because they forced up. We're able to deny another thrifty round, and they're not going to have the weapons to be able to fight in this one toe to toe, but the outlaw is singing to a few half armored opponents on the other side, and we've seen how scrappy NRG can get pushing through smokes, and when they do that, the Spectres get so much value as well.
You'll leave Shondex towards spawn, so you know you have to trigger some of the Sentinel util, and you don't have to try and, well, re-clear through. Ange is gone, but I guess the inspiration not gone from NRG Academy's side, but 3 bodies are an absolute fumble, just not really taking their time to take down the fortress of NBG right at the choke point.
It's terrible. It's tragic. I think there was some form of interruption too on the double blast back in, or maybe it was just one to be able to stop and shoot, but that didn't work either for the side of Hayode. And you just want some form of value here, just a few more kills in this round. It's not just about taking the site.
Poison's off.
Okay, Rens, how much can you do? This time everybody has rifles. He's going to be one of the only people on the team next to Shondex who had a better gun to be able to play with, but he didn't get to follow any of the scrappiness in with his team.
Grabbing that orb, getting information at Mound. Shondex unsure, just waiting for the call for Renz. He's been just anchoring spawn, and since Giz is out of the picture, you can't even use the Vise wall. So it's NRG Academy just maybe hoping to hold on to their guns. I mean, they could open the B-Link door, but you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side. There's not as many warm bodies around, and you face such a brick wall, and maybe off of a fumble. NRG Academy hesitating on what their next move should even be, and you don't want to take any more risks after how this round began.
For NBG's excellent 4 guns saved and able to be used in the next round, build that bank up and stay in the lead. That's a solution and a formula to just win the map entirely. Again, they are up right now in this matchup. They can just end this series by taking this map away.
And a nightfall for Zeke. I'm wondering how you're going to try and fight this. Seems that NBG want to get more out of this Rebel aggression. I mean, they lost Stunna so early from trying to get information towards spawn, trying to mark where this lurk of either Shondex or Giza is. NRG Academy like these 1-3-1 sort of setups like they did on Split, and NBG want to try and get ahead of this. But on defense, sometimes you can just play a lot safer and play these choke points. And it feels like Lotus could be very defensively sided if you rely on some of these Vise util and your Sentinel overall to hold the space. It's NRG Academy now see, is NBG going to step forward to their side, their half of the map?
I want him to. This Stunna angle is really meant to punish Vipers that want to put this wall down immediately. Push it back over into here, maybe isolating the rubble angle as well, or the root angle. Stunna's got a lot of work to be able to be done on the play. Too many heads, too little time, and he's down. Son of Car now. Will you get baited to play this game that's rigged against the house side, the NRG Academy side right now? Boom, bot spray, wall falls down, and he just dies to the fray there. Son of Car also goaded, baited into taking this fight. NRG Academy are like controlling NBG, it seems like, in this defensive round.
Yeah, and BG are just in these solo positions. Stunna in rubble, walled off from Son of Car. Son of Car's just out in the open, so you can't get like this one and tuck away, like to B-Link door or anything like that. So NRG Academy have just the power of friendship is kind of what's vanquishing this round, as Ren's in trouble, just getting spammed through the most brittle box in the game. And NBG didn't even have to face the music at that moment. A small lapse for NRG Academy, but what seems to be a pretty secure round for them, considering all they had to do was wait for NBG to be impatient and to punish them for it.
NBG don't go experimenting though. If they let NRG play with that patience for the entire round, the clock will tick down. Things will be in their advantage. They'll pause for now wondering, okay, guys, I understand. We can fly around the map, we can buzz around our opponents, but we're not actually mods. We don't want to be attracted to every flame the NRG's throwing our way. So they'll get their defensive repertoire up and fixed. For NRG Academy, if they're timing out right now, Lemon, what are some of the best things you're seeing from this team so far in this half?
Well, it was Hayerde being like double positive and doubling everyone's kills, and at least he's consistent, right? But it's NRG Academy needing to slow it down. I think they did a good job of that on Split, kind of realizing that they needed to match the pace of NBG, but it was two different duelists. It was a waylay. They were trying to leverage this waylay and the speed and the whole advantage that that gives. And once NRG Academy slowed it down, they looked better on Split. And now it's them still not being slow enough because they just walked into Tuzi and Stellar utility at C, and it costed them 2 bodies. And then NRG Academy were able to now slow it down, pick off NBG at some moments where they were isolated. So it's very much a chess match between the two, but I think NBG is the one that has to come up with the game plan around the 3 ultimates that they have, because those are pretty impactful ones to have.
Yeah. Some limit your hearing, others just do straight up damage. I mean, these are not utility ultimates. These are fully just, yeah, we can retake with them as well. They have really big impact. You're right. Maybe less focus on NRG Academy, more focus on what they could be doing to end the game. That's always something that people don't consider in timeouts, though. Their call is to go for mound, really structure it down. No one way, inviting pressure, inviting the fight. NRG Academy might bite for this one. Close range, you hear a blast back usually before this fight actually goes down. And nothing of that sort is happening from the side of Nightblood Gaming. They've tempered their aggression, but they've gained a lot of space.
That one way doesn't really tell you if someone's going to be on mound. You're not sure what could be on the other side if you're Ange, and they're going to, now that one-way smoke is down, NRG Academy can play off of just sheer aggression, and the showstopper misses, goes in between the gap. NRG Academy to just still be happy their lives are still intact after a bomb just came whistling past them. NRG Academy don't want that smoke.
And not for the moment. The smoke is all that bomb will leave. Tuzi pushed back with the nades as well. And usually it's an immediate crunch and an opening for NRG Academy. It's a bait and switch though, as Sun is there to go for that trap play. This is the first time NRG Academy is not there. It's actually the A hit, but there's thorns all around. Still guarded to buy the time. Stellar has one of the guns available, or most of the guns available on the side of NBG. Nightfall coming in. The sun can be turned off on the other side as well, as it goes right back, bouncing from wall to wall. Fear across both sites, both teams. Stellar pushed back. Toxicity on the ground. It's going to be tough here for the side of either team to gain space. They're both on their own lines of scrimmage. One player, a flanker, coming in. It's Sunna with the Sheriff who can open this door and shake things up for NBG.
I love how early that Steel Garden was for Stellar to buy time to even get that first pick. NBG still in this game because of their anchor coming in through tree, though. An exchange as NRG Academy hold their back line. They have the Viper's Pit covering despite just barely. It's NBG. They go to shake things up. It's the third for Tuzi. The defuse is halfway. It gets dropped, and Shondex takes over.
That was close.
Toxic clouds haunting NBG for now. As Sean next again, another pit, another tree, and another win for the planting team. They might not need the space if they have an anchor like that. And it's a star play. I feel like both teams as well threw everything at the table. Nightfalls back and forth. Rotation on the side of the map as well. And the way that things started off on mound, they're both really trying their best after that timeout. It is just, again, the star play that pushes NRG Academy a bit further than NBG.
I mean, how are you supposed to kill a Viper sitting in tree with Viper's Pit? Like, NBG just threw everybody, I mean, everything but the kitchen sink. Unfortunately, not perfectly synced, so it was just hit after hit from Shondex, but still so stoic in a moment like that. As NRG Academy able to tie things up post NBG timeout, scratching their heads on, is this really gonna be a 2-0? Do NBG have what it takes to end this cleanly? And on defense, difficult to do because their Sentinel util, their walls are crashing down around them. As NRG Academy just know right where to hit them. As the high-low created, Hayode just isolates it, still manages to get out alive. The Prowler's on his tail. Hayode conserves as many bullets as he can, but Stellar won't let him get away.
So one of those strategies where you send the weaker gun to the other side of the map to see what the stack is right now, because again, they have to solve 5 sheriffs. It's never easy to do without putting one of your bodies on the line. 4v4 for now is Teo did find some value, and with Son of Car gone, a lot of the talent on the side of NBG just in aim might be a little bit more nerfed on their side of things. From the shadows coming into B, so they understand the pivot. Stellar there with an outlaw to just be able to slow things down a bit. NRG Academy have to respect this one. Sheriff still peeking, 13 seconds on the clock. Sheer wall activated as well. Ren saves the round.
That is so insane for him to live basically by himself when the walls came up. NBG nowhere to be found. Giza just continues to rally. NRG Academy will not give up, will not surrender to face an outlaw in the face when they had 15 seconds left. There was no other option but to fight or die. And it's Stunna with just the Sheriff in a crossfire. Good luck, buddy. His vision will fade to black, and NRG Academy steps away from trying to force a map 3.
Getting a lead towards the end of this one as well. Energy Academy double digits on the board, and look at what they have to convert off of this one. Showstopper up in the wave as well for Hayode, who we know can just work so well with speed. And I think just the insurance policies here from Energy Academy as well are just going really well for the team. Every time they need that double up, both players respond. Every time they need one player to level up as well, that player is there, whether it's KO, whether it's Shondex. This time, faster speed over in the mound. That counter one-way smoke is in the business, up for duty, and is going to be able to work. Stunna pushed way back and at half HP already.
NRG Academy have stolen away the lead and just putting fear in the face of Stunna, who had nowhere to run or hide, as NBG just staggered away. The smokes are cutting off their lines of sight, and NBG just can't even play together because of this. Fantastic setup for NRG Academy. They'll get a plant off of it. Tuzi will have the Viper's Pit, but it's nothing that I think they could really use to get their way in. And it's Son of Car with an op too, so if anyone crosses, NRG Academy will be dead, but they're not stupid enough to do that. Steel Garden, just to really cement themselves in the round. NBGs had to wait a few seconds before going in. 2 Prowlers left for Zeke. It's gonna try and give them information so someone like Tuzi can at least fight through it. They've already made their way in. First contact, a blast pack to create an advantage. Tuzi falls, not perfectly, in just the back of the head. Son of Car won't be able to tell the tale, and NRG Academy, they're on a streak that just seems impossible. This whole half has been so in control of NRG Academy.
Trying to go for it, NBG right there, but yeah, you don't have unlimited time to be able to attack that site, and I'm just liking NRG's holds as well towards these rounds. I was asking them to be proactive in some of the extremities of these sites, but at the same time, if you're able to just have your ultimates help you bunker, if you can wait for the enemy team to make mistakes, if you can really just play time. They've been doing it amazingly so far inside the post plant. Always an ultimate in tow to be able to cycle through the round as well. This time they don't have a single ult on the board, so it'll all be the ideas they've cooked up in both the timeouts and the mid rounds for NRG Academy.
NBG are the ones that do the best on these lower buys. If I had to throw some cope anybody's way, but NRG Academy, I mean, especially Giza's talked in interviews that he is kind of the main energy provider. When this team gets hype, they build momentum and they just start shooting even better. They work together better. Now, you don't want to get too excited. You still need to be composed, and NRG Academy know how to strike that balance. And now to take away the lead, I mean, they are 6-2 in this half, and it looks like it'll continue to trend that way. As NBG, they tried to push through rubble. They go for these Hail Mary plays with Sheriffs, and it's not going to surprise NRG Academy.
options now as the map cuts in noise. Stunner can't stay on this angle either, and that sheriff becomes so much weaker. This wall usually over at B, so as long as NRGA Academy are careful, they do get baited out a bit, but that's Heyo's job. Make the space. Don't think the shear was tripped though, so someone needs to go up and do it unless you just want to risk everybody being isolated. They all try to move on at the same time. Only two are able to cross thorns to stop things down. The peak from Stellar is there. Going to be raised in HP. Still Gordon coming in, but is it flimsy, penetrable? That's the question as he mounts over and finds the dunk on the Shondex. This Vise does not want to give up the site right now.
So insane for Stellar. I mean, he's so patient, not greedy, doesn't go for the weapon, plays off his thorns. NRGA Academy thought it was completely free, thought it was passive of the Sentinel. They don't usually play around here. I mean, Stellar is fearless at 8 HP. Tuzi also at NBG thrifty. Maybe my cope was right after all. I mean, this team is just a different beast with sheriffs. I don't know, man.
Gotta be careful with it entirely though, right? Like, it's not going to be that easy every single time. You don't get the same levels of timings in a round as well. This is the cost of NRG maybe taking things slow or going the same pace over and over again. What's working for them on split is the switch up, is that coin flip, is the question. Are we going fast, or is it going to be another slow round? NBG going to be timing out this one.
And not to, I hate to throw this out there, but they also got their 10th round win on split off of a thrifty, which then boiled over into 3 rounds in a row afterwards. A 4-round win streak for NBG to win split off of a thrifty moment just like this. And I think they sense it. They know that this win to eliminate NRG Academy is within sight, and they have the game plan to do just that. They don't have the ults, but they got Tuzi with the Viper's Pit. So wondering how you use that. He's sort of centered around B most of the time. Sometimes he's anchoring C with Stellar. Sometimes Stellar is solo. This has been a very dynamic defense from NBG.
Could have this final C pivot coming in, and we don't see it again. Viper's Pit might just be used for retake entirely. That could be a huge thing. But NRG Academy, the question for me is, yes, that might have been an NBG timeout. You've had time to talk now as well. How do you switch up the pace, or are you trying to go for the same thing and look for success? Because technically, yeah, you are in the lead, and it has been working so far. Immediate rebel control, no challenge with cohesion, at least for the side of NBG. They're choosing to save their season name.
And NBG have only won 3 rounds, and I think only one of them was with rifles. Pistol and a thrifty. It's pretty insane. So, yeah, NBG, I mean, the script is there when it comes to split, but this half has not gone their way at all. But NRG Academy, they have been really riding this ship. The wind is in their sails, but they also are going to respect what's on the other side. They know that NBG have had a timeout. They could be really planning out a trap, and NRG Academy sensing it, trying to get back into the lobby as Shondex and Ange putting up some resistance to NBG. Ends up being a pretty even exchange between the two.
So fear based on how NRG Academy is in kind of pushing forward on the map right now. They have to re-clear B main on the side of NBG. They have to just pay attention to see if anyone's teleporting across. All the questions being asked right now, just open up this B site. They flip the map. NBG have B main. They've locked it down. They have a crunch if the spike taps the site at any moment. 2 HP on Shondex. He can't fight either. They're going to go for the B main clear. But 20 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, NRG.
So weird.
You got to make a decision. Spike is about to be planted. Hailday finds Tuzi. Do they understand the second? The Tuzi could just be an anchor here. Spike finally down. All eyes now on that flanker. Here comes Stunna. Big boots to fill, but Heyo knocks him right off.
And he's insane. He marks the flank, gets a ton of kills. He makes this round livable after NBG had them completely surrounded. Zeke's at 5 HP, been the case since the start, and now he has to 1v2. Two pretty healthy and strong fraggers on the NRG Academy side who lost Renz, their IGL, the one that had the win condition in NRG Academy after getting punched in the mouth, got back up and knocked out NBG in this round to go to match point.
It's well earned from them. I'm surprised that Stunna does not get more and the team does not activate around him on the side of NBG faster. He's not only going to be getting guaranteed kills, but turning heads, so then you can peek from your angle really fast. But I feel like some people either didn't wait or just, again, got moved on proactively from the side of NRG. They are no joke on this attack side so far. It's just tough. Maybe waiting a second and then swinging a waterfall after the spray from the back might have been the way, but you're always trying to make things as seamless as possible. 12-10 now, as you mentioned, match point, Kiwi. This is about to get real for one of these teams.
And it's real that Hayode has almost 30 kills, you know, above
Jeez.
20 kills, just like Split. I mean, he is shining bright and throughout the game, no longer quiet. He has to show up. Ange will be gone, shown out, and now the Boombot doesn't get to mark that player. NRG Academy feeling like they need a bailout plan. Don't want to walk into this trifecta that NRG Academy have really had to wrestle through even in the previous round. They need Ren's part of this, and do they Nightfall now? At what point do you pull the trigger on this? You're marking someone in the small door, and Ren's does make his mark, but it's not in this round for another Nightfall, so NBG have the advantage, and the ball is in their court.
That advantage is going to be used as an interruption towards door. 2Z. Major Sentinel, major lockdown guys able to push things over towards the final round of regulation. 12-11 NBG. You talked about these guys having a playbook to stop NRGA Academy. I mean, that round was a perfect example of that from the side of NBG.
And this is 2 rounds in a row where there could have been a Nightfall from NRG Academy, but with all these entry points that they had to watch, it's so much weight on the shoulders of Rens to organize the push. There's Viper walls up, there's smokes, we're coordinating. Do we go B if we get a kill at the B-Link door? There was kind of so many decisions that Rens had to weigh, and this is kind of a role that I wouldn't say he's known for, and he's not bad at it, but this is like so much flexing that NRG Academy have had to do, and they've done so many improvements to incorporate this new fraggers so fast to be so deep into playoffs after missing it in stage 2. So NRG Academy, this is really do or die. Like, you need to convert this round, because I don't know if you want to face an NBG in overtime.
We'll be able to talk and discuss hopefully the best plan to make sure that that doesn't happen. And if you're at home as an NRG fan, you want the same thing for the team, to beat NBG down. But at the same time, when it comes to NBG and the fans of the team as well, you have to appreciate the level of talent they're putting down right now, how dynamic every one of their players is being. It's not just the Son of Car show for the first time. We're seeing Zeke lurks in the last map, 2Z's anchoring in this one as well, everybody working together overall. And we'll lock in. If they went for an A play, it might just work. Sees Nate over towards the rebel side. Any teleport is the question. No, denied for now on the side of NRGA. Want to make sure that they don't get popped down by that util pressure.
And if Zeke gets the A orb here, he'll have a Nightfall as well, but Son of Car that picks it up. Showstopper, imagine how explosive this is gonna be if the party's over in B. And of course it hits right into the lap of Giza. NRG Academy just have no safety unless it's behind their absolute weapon of Hayode. He's always giving them a shot at winning when things seem dire as they cross over into C.
They'll follow their captain then all the way forward,
Poison orb emitting.
leading them towards the promised side of C. Heyo now moving over to hold flank by himself. The rest of the team segmented into the spawn. They have pretty good post-plant positions here. At the same time, NBG can walk forward. This is match point for the moment, or map point, should I say. Push towards OT for NBG.
They have not marked 2Z being on mound. They're still gonna watch it, kind of a fake play, as Shondex is gonna call out some numbers towards the top side, but you're not gonna get past Hayode towards mound. Now this is gonna be the moment that Zeke lets it rain with the Nightfall. 2Z will not surprise Hayode, and the showstopper whistles right past NBG. 2 versus 2. Diffuse not going through. The hero puts the cape on his back, and Stunna hopes to be the villain. But the spike is ticking down, and NRG Academy have forced another map.
That's what you like to see. Time ticking down. The kills might have been there for the side of NBG. But again, when it comes to the pressure, it just boils over for NRG Academy. Map 2 winners, and I think I'll notice they were the ones kind of pushing pressure all the time, even though on the other side of things, Tuesday might
11 Kiwi and Chayo.
This is survival of the fittest if you want a spot in the top 4, and this is Fracture is not the best map in either of these teams' pools.
Not at all. NBG have survived so far by scrappiness, by scratching at NRG Academy.
NRG Academy, they survived by winning. There we go. We're in map 3, baby. I didn't have anything poetic like that. We were gonna go bar for bar, and I just can't rap, bro.
They didn't know. They didn't have to know that. It's all good. The bars will start coming from the players though. That's the big thing, right? So I mentioned it for NBG, it has been some of the fighting in cohesion for the team. And then for NRG, if I was pointing it out from your side, Lemon, I feel like it really is one player activating the round and the rest coming through and playing off of that pressure that's made. Shondex did it a couple of times. In that first map, it was Hayode doing the most. And then the last one that we just saw, it was them playing as a team finally that got them that bit of a dub. Now it's all about what is going on Fracture, where it tests everything we've seen in the last two maps. It has that lane play, it has a bit of the defaulting as well, and especially post plants that have been a problem for both these teams in the first two separate maps. Very close ones as well. For a Fracture, there's so much momentum. Challenge over towards the side of B. It's too easy to receive.
Makes you think, like, if NRG Academy won even just one pistol on split, would this have been just a different series? Because winning no pistols, they lose. NRG Academy win just one pistol, they win. So this whole map, guys, could be just decided off of this one round, and we could just wrap her up. But NRG Academy about to be spotted by the camera. We got another observer in the lobby, and this time it's Tuzi. Camera's taken out, something suspicious. Tuzi has to play around cover, and he's usually such a survivable anchor, and he knows there's trouble afoot. He gets out.
Stage is activated on both sides. Every single player on the attack from NRG Academy is going to be just ping-ponging past every single barrier of smoke. Stunner's going to be able to knock a few of those players down. Heyo, though, active in mid-sight, just getting away with murder in broad daylight. Son of Car is able to just put him down.
30 seconds left.
No space gained too much on site for free. So NRG reestimate their approach right now, canceling the tower push and trying to go for this site hit.
As close as it gets. NRG Academy making moves, but now that all the smokes are expired, they're out in the open. NBG not even going to disrupt this plant, but rather punish. Maybe when the planter tries to escape, so looks like Renz is able to survive just off the cover alone, and Shondex and Giza work together to protect themselves, and now Zeke pokes and prods. Stellar emerges. NRG Academy caught out in the water with no raft, and they drown slowly. NBG take the pistol.
That's ranked, and you have Son of Car's position, you are swinging. If that's ranked, you're not being that slow coming in from the backside, but this is multiple tiers above what you play at home. This is the lower round in playoffs inside Challengers, the last chance for some of these players, and they are patient. Son of Car on Neon with that bandit, 10 seconds on the clock, waits for the rest of his team. He's able to spot out where Shondex is, and then Zeke can have a favorable fight. Every single cog in the clock turning properly to tell the time that it's, winning mode for the side of NBG on that retake. The patience really pushes them across the line there. On this one, though, when things get even scrappier and patience is not a factor, I wonder if NRG can turn this thrifty into a win.
NRG Academy's comp, I mean, they're using a majority core of what they ran on splits. So there's practice, there's experience there, there's comfortability. And NBG can, I know it's a different map, but they can still take notes of trends of how is Hayode engaging, at what points of the map does he really start to get confident and take over. I think just game IQ wise, Hayode didn't even have to be aggressive, mobile, in your face. He just had to know where you were. And Hayode was so good at marking those small gaps in the map. But right now it's NRG's game plan that's being executed. The same pathing as last time. Tuzi will adjust his trip so that he doesn't have to face the music head on, as Stunna makes sure that the trail of bullets will be stopping NRG Academy from taking space for free.
These trips will have a lot of information for Tuzi. Not going to be exactly kill trips, but able to just see the pace of how NRG want to move in onto this site.
Smokes are clear, and this is sort of the delay that NRG Academy like to take. And what a pick, too, from NBG. An outlaw towards spawn. Now it's the go sign as Stunna has just been a brick wall, ironclad, as a flawless round comes out of NBG, as the weapon advantage usually does, as NRG Academy couldn't even get close despite just being so quiet and so elusive.
One of my favorite parts about Nightblood Gaming is how they just go against the grain every single time. You're Breach, you have fault line active and there's people flooding through tower. You would imagine you want to stay on that ability, and a lot of the times it's one of the reasons Breach might be bad is because you kind of are locked into your clunky abilities that take a long time to get put down. Not even baited by it. Seller's active with the rest of his team just shooting on that sight line. NBG do such a good job of throwing away all options and choosing the team sometimes when that's needed. Immediate fault line comes out though. Zeke trying to get that orb, some value on this bonus round, but It's denied by NRGA Academy.
Yeah, interesting grab there. And at least NRG Academy know that there's going to be an outlaw somewhere in this picture. And it wrapped around through spawn last time. NRG Academy feeling the need to tempo up, press the advantage, the 5v4 that they have. To step into the arena, though, at least it's a good trade. Stellar will not be part of that picture and try and kind of flash or fault line their way into a retake. Merely minimizing the chances of this defense coming back as NRG Academy seems solid. They have someone watching every entry. As Stunna was a star the last round, getting a couple of kills. NRG Academy on watch for when this brimstone will come out, and Hayode has his number. NBG split and now really don't have time or the kills to make some magic happen. Even with a really nice stun, Hayode just stoic as ever. The trade is nice. It gives Tuzi a weapon, but it gives NRG Academy their first round.
Very nice, and done with minimal losses on their side as well. 2 is usually the average on what happens. Biggest thing though is that some people are on the FPX buy a lot of the times, and so 2 kills is what they can afford. On the side of NRG Academy, they have fully invested into this round, 5 rifles, so losing 2 players is actually a pretty big circumstantial negative thing happening for the team. A pretty big pushback on their economy. I wonder how they bolster things up over here. Rebuying all the way in, now down to 0 on a few of their players. The more they have some of these losses happen over and over into these rounds, the harder it will be to buy back for the entire team.
Maybe having a Phoenix instead of a Breach kind of makes you more flexible around the map, but going through A may just favor the defense and their composition, as Stellar will reset the run it back. Earned early there from Shondex as NRG Academy starting to make space and press the positions, but Stellar stands tall. Ange and Renz will work together, coming through different sides of the map, crunching down on NBG that thought they were safe. They thought they were composed, and NRG Academy took their time, which is what we wanted to see them do more of.
Here around needed here from one of these players on the side of NBG.
One enemy remaining.
Detective work needed from Tuesday, but he's not going to be able to find it, so the hero is not going to be able to come online with that information. It's not going to be pushed back now. 1v4 at this position is borderline impossible for Stunna. And the biggest thing that's been going right for NBG has kind of just been that pistol, the patience. When NBG has control, things look good, but they've had a tough time getting and staying inside some of these anchor positions. That Fade Haunt was the one thing to be, just see everybody through smokes. It spams down for the side of NRG Academy. Renz did a really good job with that, and at the same time, NBG on pistol had less fireworks and firepower to deal with from the side of NRG Academy, right? You don't have all the abilities active just yet. You don't have the potential of the slide plays. I think the biggest difference I'm seeing in this game as well is that Hayode finally has a duelist to play with. We didn't have that on Split like you were mentioning earlier. It's a night and day difference to have somebody either to be able to die for you or flashes to get past these smokes.
And the Phoenix really does thrive in those kind of corner environments, which A main has so much of. So it's going to be kind of nice how him and Stellar try to leverage their own teams. You also had Giza come through Dish in the top of the map. So NBG, look how much more attention they're giving through the top of the site, knowing that they let that gap through, that cost them the round. They won't let that happen again. So what is the depth of strategy of NRG Academy? How many more curveballs, literally, can they throw to NBG?
That's some immediate pushing happening in the earlier rounds, especially up against some thrifties. Rifle to rifle, though, you got to be careful going on an expedition here towards the top. The camera's gonna be able to see him, but you're too busy looking at wildlife. It might just be able to pounce on you. Son of Car is gonna be able to take Giza down. Lots of control lost on that top side. Look at the way they can rotate back and forth now. Son of Car getting all the way towards his position on B. But A is the focus for NRG Academy. Hayode picking off Tuzi. They're still getting all the way activated off of Sands. Haven't touched sight yet. They're about to move past the castle. Stellar back, 9 HP with a stinger. This is impossible. Do you even find some value? Lots of damage onto Ange. 14 HP as he crawls in, bleeding, putting the spike down.
NBG, I mean, you can't just put all of your util at the choke. Like NRG Academy are coming in through all sides. Hayode finds that matching kill. Despite NRG Academy getting first blooded, they are still in a winning position, but not if you choke shots like that. NBG, though, are starting to ruffle the feathers. Hayode finds finds his third with the Outlaw in such a close quarters. He now dashes into the action, gives information, and despite NBG having the informational advantage at the start, it's NRG Academy that had the better kills.
I didn't know that light speed came with a touch of amnesia. I'm pretty sure that NBG knew that there was still one player all the way over on Spike, but unfortunately the pressure and the players too much to handle for the side of the defensive team. They're gonna have another bye to be able to have another voice here inside this round or inside this half. It's tough though. NRG Academy are doing all the right things in these rifle rounds to keep putting wins on the board.
That's when the win streak starts to grow, and it even started off a run it back. You got your cycle of ults that can come online. Maybe an orbital strike if you're lucky. It's now the same pathing through the early rounds, needing to take note of where that camera is from NBG. And they just are going to try and cut off these trips, and it's not going to stand in their way this time.
This arcade take is the one thing that NBG were able to stop before. They choose to push towards the B stair angle as well, always leaving the site behind and then having a crunch available on it afterwards. Gonna see the camera but not shoot it for now. Just want to make sure that every other angle is clear. Finally it now goes down. Everyone's kind of moved in from arcade. No more games. Heyode though, no refract off the light speed, and it's a heist from Tuesday as he's able to actually get away. Son of Car uses that distraction to get a fight of his own, able to win it all the way towards the flank side, and now they have a triple entire force pushing through B stairs. It has to be some form of gap, some form of angle Angie has right now to just get some relief for the team. Renz getting Son of Car on the stairs re-entry. Orbital strike, buying a bit of time. Rolling Thunder shaking up the entire pace of this. They've seen the head pop through off. Jenny Edge though is able to deny everybody holding their line against so many players on NBG. They get chopped down one by one by NRG Academy. They just can't lose these important gunfights. Stellar locked down to 1 HP. It's chaos on this B site with ultimates, abilities, shots thrown, no time in this one either. I don't even know how to describe that round. It's just it's pure tomfoolery from everyone. It's just desperation in wanting to win.
That's the key word, desperation. I mean, NRG Academy won that being down 3v5. They keep splitting up Giza to the other side of the map. He plays a spawn hold, and then Son of Car locks him down every time. NBG had this 5v4, but what's different is Heyode fell next, and that was kind of a huge ace up your sleeve to change up the odds of the round. And even though you didn't have Giza and Heyode, this team still came together, used two ultimates, starting with Ange and the Nightfall, and you had Stellar throwing his into the mix. It was, like you said, desperation, but NRG Academy maintain momentum now towards spawn, maybe trying to catch Zeke or the others of NBG that have usually gone after Giza. They'll protect their Sentinel, and as a team, NRG Academy will move forward.
Effortless from them on all these mains. It feels like every time they want the space, they can take it. Arcade, not interrupted. A main, always a guarantee. It doesn't seem like NBG is really fighting for much. They have tried one time on that top side towards Dish. This time they, I think, activate to try to find some value. Shondex, though, is able to get another one for free.
I think Heyode, sensing the speed getting activated from Son of Car, just wants to play towards the team and play Duck Hunt towards spawn, allowing NRG Academy to just kind of clock in, clock out, and not let NBG get close where these stingers, these pistols can have any leverage, because you really got to play the same game, even though NBG are on these lower buys, because they pulled out a couple of thrifties, and in moments that you cannot let them have that, like in the deeper parts of the game. So NRG Academy are not only win, but with a flawless, and they're really controlling this entire first half.
So even though it's a time or eco, you might see a timeout from the side of NBG and how they're understanding the way this game is being played for the moment. But no, they go right back into things. There it is. Never mind. Timeout coming in. We got to talk about it. The momentum's not on their side, and their attitude, their decision making isn't really giving them a leverage or any type of leverage or a leg up in winning some of these rounds. It's fracture, just like Lotus, just like Split on defense a little bit. You have to fight. You can't just wait on these sites. In pistol, for sure, you can do that. That's where the rounds are a bit finicky, but they have this weird B angle where they let, you know, arcade pressure go away, jump into stairs, and try retaking their own site. You have to just pick a part of the map, try to crunch it, try to fight. Fracture's famous for it. We love the crunch wrap supremes on either side of north or south, and we haven't really seen NBG do a cohesive version of it so far. The closest things so far, Lemon, has been like a slow walk down from Son of Car, and I think it was maybe Stunna or Zeke on the top side of the map. We need some level of just ownership and control of NBG on this map.
Yeah, the one thing that I felt like NBG figured out was marking Giza being solo towards spawn and playing around his trips. And there was a couple times they killed Giza, had a 5v4, and still can't convert any of these rifle rounds. And that's usually because Heyo Day had a clutch moment. If it wasn't Heyo Day, then NRG Academy threw like 2 or 3 ults at them in a 3v5. So NBG need to close out rounds where they have the number advantage, and they really are starting to weaken NRG Academy. So post timeout, a completely different approach from NRG Academy to abandon the spike and go through the top side of A.
They still have no control on A now. Yes, they might have Main and Sands locked down for now. If this dish exec comes in, you're gonna have the spike planted again and some trouble on the retake if you don't have dish control. A control gain though is pressure onto NBG on the other side of the map. Business as usual. I mean, you have the camera for the cross on Arcade, but past that, it's a whole thing. I like the re-clear up in the dish though.
NRG Academy need to get as close as they can so that Shondix's run it back gets as much mileage as you can within the site itself. And that's why he activates it near Arcade. Gonna take just the most direct path towards B. Find where these trips are along with the Prowler. Ideally, kills would be huge, and he does so just as it expires, but he's traded in his final position. And where is Renz to maybe bail him out? And now he's marked by the neural theft, and Tuzi, what a round for him to overcome, to find that Phoenix, to punish Renz as well. And NRG Academy, the only win condition they had is now gone. Big investment, though, for NBG to kind of figure out NRG Academy. They still have to make up in the gap in the score. It's a nightfall that reigns on the NRG Academy spike push, and at least the power of friendship tries to trade the spike through the path, but through the tower they will fall, and Giza's the last one left.
The Tuesday timings, I think, are the reason that NBG wins that round, but in my opinion, that's just luck kind of finally leaning on their side. I don't think it's replicable. You have one person watching the angle just a little bit, you have a timing that's missed for just a second, and that should have been NRG Academy's round. I'm not seeing NBG play for as much space. It's great that they have that main on A angle as well, but I need to see even more. Need to see that push. The cattle being herded on the side of NRG Academy. They're looking way too confident, even in losing that round. I feel like that's barely even a brush off the shoulder.
Yeah, at least a lot on the shoulders of someone like Heyo Day that is, you know, going, again, almost double positive in the early map. And as long as NBG don't figure him out, and don't start taking him out too consistently, NRG Academy always have a way to clutch through.
Yeah, one of the things that happens though when you don't fight for these extremities in this space, you'll start to lose these rounds a bit, and then to compensate for that, over rotate. One light speed double dash and a refract, and you have 4 people pulled towards the A side. Look at the way that NRG are scaling the map now. They have absolute advantage over towards B. Nobody's here really. They've left one embed. It's Renz, who might just punish a push. He gets seen, found out, but yeah, now you can see the play. It's about to be a B push. They're trying to get through that smoke. Convergent pads all the way on towards the sight line. Doesn't hit too much. Orbital strike maybe invested as well from Stunna to stop the push in. They're gonna fight straight towards Canteen. Stunna locks it all down.
NRG Academy, I mean, convergent paths are going in blind. They're pushing past the smokes, and they just run headfirst into a wall. I mean, NRG Academy looks so solid in this first half, and post timeout of NBG, they've just been able to settle down into this map. NBG really relying on Tuzi's trips that weren't broken there, as you had convergent pass. You wanted to get active if you're NRG Academy. That didn't work out. Spike didn't leave spawn for a hot second. It's NRG Academy really struggling now that NBG have kind of solidified their defensive game plan.
I still feel like they haven't though. They've been over-rotated a little bit, NBG. Time for a shy wager analogy. NRG for me seemed like the kid that really wants to go skydiving, works his entire life to go do it, is in the plane up top in the sky, but is scared to jump. You pulled the fake. You're at the site. You have to hit. You have to pick up the speed. Right here again, trying to pop flash out through the smoke. Waiting for it to go down, or able to actually get the trap play ready to go. Finally scaling with a bit of speed. Like a fault line or some form of utility kind of pushes them back, so they have to relax. Off the Prowler, keep pushing forward. The question is, what is the goal from NRG? because the pace right now screams you might not be ready to commit to this. They will though. Sand split coming in, and there is a lurk on Dish.
And yeah, Giza needs to show up. He's smoked off. He's going to be really close to all the action. Depends on who's going to be watching him. The smoke dissipates. Stun is going to pay attention. It just pre-shoots at Giza. Insane. He's 1-6 right now. He can't even get a neural theft going. Tuzi's close to his second one. Shondex will try to make up for it, though. NBG stuck in the middle of the site. Surely NRG Academy are going to take care of it. Stun still takes another one on the road. And NRG Academy still will be able to light the candle and close out the round. But you said it, it felt like they fought tooth and nail to breach this setup of NBG, and still ends up working out despite losing some bodies.
Feels like they need to warm up on the way they're executing some of these rounds. In this one, they were able to jump out that plane. They had a plan, and they finally committed to it all the way. Parachute, let's see if it's able to pop and stick a landing. It is. It's Hayode who was captaining that parachute jump. 4K for him. And again, if it has to just be this guy that can push that line forward, is that enough to get these guys a map win?
I think that's a big reason why Renz gives the duelist role over to Hayode. He's so consistent every moment, even when he's not the first one like taking a line of sight. Son of Kar is just out watching, has his crosshair place, and Hayode still wins that first engagement, which opens up A and even allows NRG Academy to get the ball rolling. Imagine losing one of your duelists, especially the most important one, in an entry like that. Like, Hayode is double positive for a reason, but NRG Academy only lead by 1. Really like to see Giza helped to do a neural theft, but they still do this 4-1. NRG Academy managed to still win, but at deficits that you wish they could do so a bit cleaner.
Oh, I'm liking this so much. Hit by his own stun as well. Son of Kar, that's tough, but the utilizing amazing from the side of NRG Academy. Now their broken fast slow pace will also be tricky for them to solve. All the way on the other side of the map though, because the split's not coming in from Dish, I'm wondering if NRG Academy want to actually commit to this. Their lack of committal has been read by NBG multiple times. We'll have to open this door again to convince these guys they still want to stay and take sand. I'm wondering if Hayode goes for it. Still 4 players here. Dish alert coming in. They will lock onto this, but I'm questioning if it's just a bit too late, because Son of Kar is repositioned all the way over towards the main side. Offline is on the angle.
I think Giza wanted to make sure that he's not getting pushed from Son of Kar, because when they've sort of marked that Giza's been alone, NBG have punished him for it. Now that Giza hasn't met any enemies, NRG Academy gonna face the music. It's the nightfall. Son of Kar, though, pierces through the heart of the other side, and Hayode is missing, but NRG Academy will not give up. And at the top of the hill, the king has been slain, and it's a 2v2 to decide the round, where the spike is just barely planted. Giza finally gets the neural theft, and is that information going to be enough? The 12 seconds at least gives them security, and at least gives them an idea that NBG will be towards the attacker spot.
Oh, they're used to skydiving now. Again, have to stick the landing in the post plant. So good at pushing onto the site. No hesitancy from NRG Academy anymore. They are confident. At the same time, NBG right behind them. Fault line, Renz taken offline for the moment. Tuzi walks up because of that angle. He's not going to be able to cross in through main. It's a tricky choke to be able to work with. Renz tap dancing while Giza plays the music, and it sounds beautiful. 7-4 for NRG Academy. They found their flow.
I think NRG Academy, that neural theft just gave them the answer to that whole round. They had the site, they had the plant. You know that the enemy is working through a main, a pretty difficult choke point. So all they had to do was kind of play off of each other, play with, kind of off of each other's crossfires. NRG Academy didn't need to rush that engagement. They just had to play the site. Let NBG put the pressure on themselves to crack it. So NRG Academy, back to a 3-round win streak, the same 4-1 setup where Giza's on the other side. And his timing on his engagements is really what decides NRG Academy's success.
This time looking at Arcade, now watching a walk-in coming through and having a cam to see what happens over at Dish. Giza will be the maestro for this round. What track will they choose? Is it the A side or the B side where they're going to be playing? And yeah, with that push, the structure over to B. This is where they've been hesitant though. Can they push him with confidence? Run it back. Makes a really aggressive sound for them to be able to just rock through with. Tuzi, timing, gonna be taken. Not solved. Neural theft coming in. Now leaning towards the side of NBG. Last round, so everything will be thrown against the wall. Spike finally down as they try to go over in an arcade. Flooding over tower. Rolling Thunder comes in, everybody gets rocked over towards the backside. Orbital strike though to be, you have a little bit of space for people to work with. Tap towards the backside. It's a raise of kills all the way on both sides. Is this enough for NBG to hold things down?
What a 1v1, all decided by Tuzi versus Giza. Tuzi wins that place cover well, like he usually does. Doesn't kind of have this ego challenge where he's just out front, he's wide swinging you. He plays the cover, he's even shooting through walls. This allows the neural theft to come online. He waits for the pings to come through, and then this rolling thunder literally just rolls everybody once they knew exactly what the setup was from NBG. 7-5, the lead is still so close. NRG Academy jumping on the defense. NBG took the first pistol, and they still trail in this map somehow.
I got to focus on what you've been putting down in terms of knowledge though, Lemon, right? You talked about very early how the Tuzi timings were the reason they were getting so much value. It happened towards the end. You also mentioned his counterpart, Giza, multiple times working over at Dish, and it's the reason NRG had such a good attack. I'm going to look at how things differ now when they flip sides. Does Tuzi have what Giza has in the tank? And at the same time, will Giza play that same type of anchor way? He's being questioned right now on tower. Can he find the timing limit?
Is Tuzi gonna hear what's coming behind him? There's a 3-man push, and Ange, I mean, he's just a solo anchor and an absolute unit. Now Giza just has to finish off what his Brimstone started. Now in a corner, he can at least just isolate the angle and has a feeling, senses the spike carrier encroaching. And NRG Academy, without really too much effort, it seems, at least with the 2 defenders they had at B, they did the majority of the work, and the 3-man push is just late to the party.
Tuzi was able to get timings in tower. Giza uses his position to give Ange timings on the site. Both ciphers bunkering down in such different ways, but giving the team so much value to be able to play off of. And they understand where Tuzi is for now as well. So just want to be able to pick him apart. Every single player gets a piece of the pie as well. Shonek's doing the most damage there. Really nice round from NRG Academy.
Both defenses getting up early when it comes to the pistols, and we've seen moments where when NBG take a pistol, like on Lotus, NRG actually forced on their anti-eco. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a decision, because that did give NRG Academy the win in a very similar 7-5 scenario. NBG win, get up to 8, and then NRG force. Doesn't seem to be case now as NRG Academy. NBG not going to force. NRG Academy up to 8, and with Guardians too, playing that range is going to be such an advantage for them.
This time Patience has it's a bit of an eco. The goal you can have on Fracture, which is unique to most maps, is a lot of the times on these Thrifties, you can get a lot of value just hunting orbs. You can have a 2 minimum as well and push for that 3 and extra even more. Really get ultimates on your way to be able to affect how you're going to be playing your half. We'll see if they can even get the spike down here, pushing fast in the B. They have an angle from both sides of NBG. And Giza, better firepower, but a bit worse on positions overall. They could get pinched here without the help with or without the help of somebody being in Gen. But luckily enough, Renz has rotated in pretty well.
Just making sure you don't get close to those right-click classics, because those do damage. Just let the rifles and the Guardians do all the talking. NBG's only chance is kind of leveraging smokes, prowlers to push NRG Academy off these power positions, get close enough that your classics can, you know, maybe one tap or really do some significant damage if you can get close enough. But NRG Academy, never let them get within arm's reach.
We thought it'd be the other way around right now. The desk, I think, had a lean towards the NBG side of a upset against what would be the legacies of these two teams. I think the read was that the shooting mattered more today, but from what we're seeing right now, it's not just the shots, but the structure that is a part of the equation as well. NRG Academy, back to their original form a little bit, back to where they're usually power ranked within the tier 2 scene, are really handling every single thing NBG are throwing at them, are really just breaking down the structure of this entire map. This is the biggest lead we've seen so far between these two teams. NRG are playing a really good game on both sides of the map right now. Push the entire NBG roster back in this round towards the B site. Only one person here this time though. How much value can Giza find with just a ghost?
Oh, this is going to force this player out of position, but off the cage, Giza still has safety. And NBG don't want to try and spam through and reveal their position and reveal their numbers. NRG Academy still have camera up. And Ange can pull the trigger at any moment with an orbital strike. And Tuzi wins that 1v1 against the other Cypher. And BG with that 5v4. They really need to make sure all the dominoes fall, though, because NRG Academy's ability to come back at deficits is still strong as the camera is still up. NRG Academy have information, but NBG try to get proactive. They catch Hayode out in the open, out in the sun, and Ange just can't even trade. This is disastrous for NRG Academy. And NBG had better weapons, and it did cost them a lot of them in this round.
You're saying disastrous. I gotta say disastrous for NBG. You do not want to lose that many weapons and lose to a Ghost X2 towards the end over there. That is insane. Again, this will just matter over the long haul as well, but every single player now has to full force down, stay locked in, not get as much value as we keep moving towards the battle between these two teams.
I think there was just a way that NRG Academy could have played it a bit cleaner than the way that they did. But hey, Hayode is always trying to set up his teammates for success. 3 rounds separate these two teams. And if there's an A main fight, I mean, even an orbital strike could be huge in choke points in little spaces like this. But NBG, the ball is in their court. What kind of swing are they willing to take? This is such a sketchy area to navigate. And no one is encountering them. This is so free. I mean, NRG Academy are so worried about Tuzi.
Tuzi will be able to control a bit of the pace right now as they go for dish control. You talked about the ball being in NBG's court. NRG with these ultimates can change the size of that court, move around the net a little bit. I wonder how they just are be able to Oh, okay, I was about to say, change the rules a bit. Renz, before any of that can even drop down, it's a free pick off the top of the smoke. Run it back comes in, so that court gets a bit smaller as it pushes players back towards certain angles they might not want to play on. Hayode off angle. Can Tuzi find it? His patience is really stretching. This NRG Academy line thin. He does get the timing, does get the beat down, and now dish assault.
Run it back was to just tap the spike. It gets NBG so nervous, but they're smoked off their spike. And now Tuzi has to make sure he keeps vision of it. Diffuse is going halfway. Zeke's got the kills. Son of Cars getting too aggressive, and NRG Academy were ready to greet them. I mean, this defense maybe could have had an easier round if they were just at the front of A main in the first place. Having to play retake, having to invest, costed everything out of NRG Academy.
Thought it'd be going well too. It's just the time, and those are one of those moments where, you know, Hayode's made the right play. Yes, he's gonna get solved, but at what cost? You're gonna take so much time winning your one gunfight. You're not gonna have any time to be able to actually defuse the spike later on. It's tough on the side of NRG Academy. NBG get another round to stay locked in. They have lost a few players in that one, and with some of the deaths from the Ghost in that round before as well, their economy is tanking as it falls lower and lower. A chance for the bank to build up, though, as they're up against a Thrifty from NRG Academy. And they've used 2 of their most powerful ultimates in that round as well. That's one of the best rounds for NBG to be able to defuse. So now ults are going to be coming in on their side. Stunna always or almost close to the orbital strike. Stellar has that rolling thunder. And they're looking to hopefully not just win this round, but get orbs online as well, because these ultimates is how you come back from a deficit like this.
And NRG Academy were right to really consider Tuzi to be a threat and to kind of watch him when he was coming in solo, because he's winning a lot of these 1v1s. But NRG Academy won that round and now have a bunch of pistols because it cost them 4 bodies to win that round. There's only 1 hero rifle, and it's Ange. And now NBG will be able to catch up despite this 4-round win streak. But NRG Academy, they got a pick. So hold on a minute. The defuse is also starting to happen, and NRG Academy have smoked off NBG from the spike yet again. This is deja vu from the A site from previous. Now the smokes are gone, and NBG, they see the win in sight. And you're even going for a rolling thunder from Stellar. The Vandals still in the hands of NBG. The defuse is just going to be held. And NRG Academy, they just build a pyramid to protect their defuse. And it's a bunch of pistols that win it for NRG Academy. It's all pretty much a thrifty.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. You have such good positions on site afterwards if you want to play them. One measly smoke up in tower, a creative one actually, that's like right behind the entrance to kind of hold it down. But all of NBG just move off of site immediately to play the post plant. Do you want to use the rolling thunder against a Pseudo Thrifty as well is a really big question. And because of all the loss they've had of life in these multiple rounds, they're tossed on such a weird buy in this one. Son of Car has a full one. The rest of the team, half armor classics, sheriffs in the way. Ange immediately mollying down as the pressure comes in from Arcade.
NBG can only play off-site if they've killed Ange, and I don't think they've realized that he still has smokes. It's 2 rounds in a row they made that mistake, and Son of Car, what a big double. Gives Son of the Vandal as well. NBG barely safe behind these smokes to try and plant. So the Nightfall for the defense, they sent blood in the water. NBG have not been safe enough to plan. They barely have the HP at 25 and 63. Somehow NBG live.
Somehow is Heyday maybe finally falling down to the pressure. The guy that you keep mentioning, double positive all the way towards the top, looking so strong with his gameplay so far, is now 15 and 13. Had to win the round for his team right there, and whiffs. Chooses to go for that left kill first, leaves his teammate in a 1v1 and whiffs his own fight himself, and that's gonna cost NRG Academy a little bit. NBG climbing back with a pseudo thrifty of their own.
Off of a Ren's Nightfall that you thought in that 2v2 was going to give him the win, at least the information, but Son of Car, you could tell that double got him amped up. And he was starting to get speedy, gives NRG Academy an aggressive position. Are they going to want to push spawn, though? NBG are waiting to greet them, and they have the weapons, they have the ults to fight back. From Nightfall to Orbital Strike, NRG Academy, I don't know if you want to be in such a small space against NBG like this.
If they're able to pull those ultimates down, it'd be nice. They're just an eco right now on Thrifty, so it's, I think, some of the best value they can find. There's one. Just to lock it down, they're scared of the Giza Sheriff coming in. Son of Car, the action man, is able to lock it down. I wanted to mention Tuzi's lurk as well. It's found its way underground, and he's going to be picking up the tower players. And so this is a free, almost free round for the side of NBG. They do use a Nightfall, but they can get another one if Zeke gets a few kills in this game as well.
Yeah, you got more coverage from the Nightfall, just getting onto the site, because at least you can win off of time, if not off of kills, instead of the 3-stack that was walking towards them. So NRG Academy were caught trying to catch up to NBG. And look at where we are now. From what 4-round lead that NRG Academy had is now only within 1. And it's off of just being forced on these ecos, and NBG, they're now winning more rounds than they're losing when it comes to this half. And they still have one more timeout left, which NRG Academy are going to use their first timeout, I believe.
If they want to slow the pace down, they can easily time out to break momentum. The biggest thing I was looking at between both these teams, I was pocket watching. It's all about the money for me. And I'm looking at NBG for them. The bank did not look good and has not looked good up until the last 2 rounds. And now they've had some flawless and very clean rounds. And so as a result, NRG Academy in a little bit of trouble. That being said, they've broken the bank to be having a voice in this one. Heyday, operator, back online. And it was a problem for NBG to deal with just a little bit. I'm wondering how much more value it can find. This round I'm looking at here is giving me 2 different tails, Lemon. You've got them maybe playing with this operator for slow play and controlling the early part of the game, but you also have run it back, conversion pads, orbital strike. That requires light speed dashing, playing with a phantom, a bit of chaos. Heyday is not going to have that option unless somebody gives him a rifle. So a bit of fumbling may be coming through from NRG Academy if they're trying to play 2 different versions of the game in the same round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, what pace is NRG Academy gonna play at when an op forces you to be slow and play for information, play for pigs, and run it back is the opposite of that. But maybe that could just give Giza the neural theft. He's not with that op right now. Usually Heyday is with Shondex, and that's funny. This is so split.
Yeah, like, why didn't Shondex come with him is the question. The op is down, the bank broken for nothing. The money was fake all along. Ange, can you equalize this? No, that playing in front of the smoke, you're crazy, man. Shondex, full lined off, traded almost. This is disaster for NRG Academy.
You just jump out of a smoke with up. Like, what game am I watching right now? Like,
He usually lands those shots. That's the thing. 2 uncharacteristic whiffs with the GOAT in this match right now. Shondex pushed back in the canteen. They've equalized a little bit. NBG still have taken the tower space.
when you get deep into the game like this, I feel like Hayode tries to go for some really fun heroics. Doesn't work out. NBG figured him out, but Shondex breaks them all apart. Now it's a 2 versus 2. The spike's still down. Son of Car running them over like he is one, and we have ourselves a tie game.
NRG Academy were kind of weaving the threads of fate in this match so far, and NBG decide to just take fate into their own hands. They say we're not done with this match just yet. You guys are not winning this one for free. Yes, Heyo is playing like crazy right now. We're gonna give him so many options. He's gonna whiff. He's not gonna know what to do. And at the same time, as a team, NBG at the moment are just playing better. They have these 2 amazing lines coming in. A lot of the time they let these slower players come through, kind of launching Son of Car into the business instead of waiting for him to make the first play. They're being very dynamic right now. The team with 2 duelists are finding a tough time to get aggressive. Hayode, martial player, trying to get a bit active, trying to get some value, doesn't find much but information.
Maybe those kind of jump outs that he does is to have a chance to refract back, but NBG's shots have been so clean, and that's why they're in a position to take back the lead, and they're on a win streak. Oh, okay. Just the smokes, no orbital strike yet, and just had that for a few rounds now, and what a collapse! NRG Academy on these ecos are scary. You can tell how bad they want it, and how you poked the bear, you made him angry, and you walked right into the trap.
Confidence sometimes, the ego can be the downfall of a team in the lead with momentum. Conversion pads, you want to be able to clap back into this match for free. Shondex will finally land things. Tuzi's here off the zip line, but can't help his team. Coming in, active desperation to cover. NRG Academy, a barricade, a crossfire, 3 sheriffs send NBG to jail.
My God, the perfectly timed swing. 3 kills happen at the same time. Talk about synchronization. That drops like 3 vandals and the spike. That's the game-winning fight that NRG Academy just won. And is that enough to propel them to the finish line? Because there's no, I don't think there's timeouts. Maybe 1 left from NBG, but at this point, they just have to push through. They'll regroup. They have to be careful towards spawn. Look at this double walk down from the duelist though. Shondex, there's a flash ready. Stellar, or it's a fault line first. And the orbital strike on top. And it's NRG Academy with another punch to the face. As NBG taking a seat in this round yet again.
They're evolving in the final hour. NRG Academy, allergic to making that first initial play in the most cohesive way, have finally found a way to connect the dots between teammates. And it's looking great. Control of that satellite as well. The orbital strike coming down, finding value. Tuzi is going to stop Hayode for now, but that's finding out where one of the players is. That being said, you have to find the link right now on this defensive side. Where is NBG trying to end? NRG Academy knows there's 1 player in tower. Still, the fear of the rotation is there. The clock will dwindle for the moment as we wait to see what NBG's next move is.
And just watching Arcade, so they know that NBG have not left the site yet. Barely any security as Stellar has to play his life. He no longer has it. No Rolling Thunder. It's up to Tuzi. He tried to give them even a smallest of chance. Still has to plant the spike. NRG Academy don't have to rush this, but still Ange will end it his way. NRG Academy 1 round away from eliminating NBG after losing their map pick.
At the start of this half, just weren't patient enough. Afterwards, NRG Academy, you're looking at the way they're playing, not enough stuff happening on the defensive side in proactivity. As soon as the score ties up, they wake up and just come online, all ready to win this game. Series point here and a timeout from NBG. They need to lock down how this attack is crawling on the map.
You felt that NBG got back on their feet in the second half. They were win streaking, and then as soon as NRG took their first timeout, I would say, of the whole game, they got a thrifty, they got to match point, and you thought that was just gonna all boil over. And they have a run it back. And look, they're not gonna have a Hayode op to slow them down this time, or at least. So now they could all work together off of Shondex, and him and Hayode have been a really beautiful duo, and how just kind of much threat and lethality they create on any lane that they push. A lot of good tools for NBG to force another round, but how much is it going to cost them?
I mean, they only have 1 chance for this one. The cost is loss, right? You have to be able to lock this down. It's whatever decision you make has to be the correct one here. Biggest thing too, in terms of cost, I think you might have mentioned it as well. The economy here for the side of NBG. Some of their best players so far, Tuzi, who's been rocking down with patience, does not have the same level of firepower to explore his side of the map. Okay, speed then is what it takes if our Sentinel can't make the job work with space. Moving in, but then backing out. The confidence for NBG is just not there for main.
If NBG maybe can bait them into a fight, to maybe have the rolling thunder, they're playing around cover. The Prowler's gonna mark someone at the door. The fault line, here's the amp, as Son of Car looks to chase down who the Prowler had sought out. And NRG Academy have the first blood, and it's a flash, and Sean next, he's back, and so are NRG Academy in a 5 versus 2, as Tuzi still has a sheriff. He's nowhere near an upgrade. He's nowhere near the spike, and Son of Car, he's just alone with the spike, and he has to sync perfectly to try and give NBG a chance.
Smoke will fall, and that will be the last form of conversation NBG will have in this round. How much can Tuzi find? They die here. This match, their playoffs, they're running challengers, and tier 2 is over. NBG, look for the angle. Drop will make the noise. NRG Academy playing so patient in this one.
30 seconds
Fear starts
left.
to take over too, as the flank might be coming. Son of Car edges out onto site up top. He denies Heode, and it's now just him with 30 HP against the Armada that wants to win, and it's not enough. NRG Academy push over the line and knock NBG out. What a way for them to keep things rolling in this one. Return to form for the team and absolute control towards the end of Fracture there. What a banging series between these two teams.